redone. I know Patty had said something about it once too. It had to do with you couldn't do that shit anyway in that bill that they were trying to do. So she knows that. She's been in the Senate for years and years. She knows. She tried to play a game like she was being, that's yeah, like she's trying to always play a game like she's standing against Trump, and she never does.
April, so do you think it's an old PR hit, like PR thing with her that like, oh, they promised me good things, but they didn't, or they promised me something, but then they lied to me?
I think it's just the way that she plays because she at times she hasn't been able to run as a Republican, right? Because and I'm not going to go through all that shit with the write-in votes again. Lisa tries to pretend that she's in the middle of stuff, and she's really not. Even after the vote, where she voted for the big busted biscuit bill, she told the House people, hey, you guys you shouldn't vote for this. Hello, you fucking just voted for it. What are you doing? So yeah, she's ridiculous. She's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Trump signed an executive order shortly after the bill was passed that could limit the awarding of tax credits for said projects, and Interior Secretary Doug Burgum issued a new directive requiring his personal approval for wind and solar projects on federal land and water, thus likely hobbling and even killing such efforts in Alaska. There you go. Back to regular programming.
Yeah, I remember seeing her being interviewed by somebody, and they confronted her about that bill, and the only thing she did was just look at him, horrified, just look at him. And he was like, "Okay, are you gonna answer?" And she just looked at him. I've never seen anybody like respond or even look terrified. Exactly what she was doing, but why? I still don't know why.
Do you like chapli kebab? He did this to us. Okay, there's a lot of Democrats who voted for her during the write-in because they didn't want Sarah Palin's choice. I can't even remember this. I can't remember his name, but he was fucking crazy. So she didn't get the Republican nomination in the primary, so she ran as an independent against this guy. And people up here, some like Sarah Palin, but for the most, no. And he was a fucking clown. He was kicking reporters out of, like their little shit they do, rally stuff they do. And so she did the write-in and she won. And it was because of a lot of independents and Democrats afraid of this other guy getting in, they voted for her. So Lisa tries to pretend. She did it during his first administration, and she's doing it now. It's nothing new to us. We understand exactly what she's doing. She gets independents and Democrats worked up like she's going to actually make a stand, and then she just pulls the rug out. It's like Lucy and Charlie in football. This is what she does.
Oh, so she does tacos too. She does tacos too.
She did say the ACA. That's part of why people think there might be a chance she'll do it again.
She'll continue.
But that's the one. She also voted against.
She did it with DeVos when she was.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about. Was it Kavanaugh? When she voted against Kavanaugh. That's it.
Yeah, but do you guys think that that's just a strategy that she's playing? Like, I'm gonna pretend that like I am somewhat not a full conservative and crazy and a MAGA.
Katrina, were you here when I just explained what she does?
Breaking news. I got to come up for Martin Luther King screen. Okay, you guys see that guy that got beaten in Jacksonville?
Yeah, we spoke about that too.
You did? Did you guys play a clip on it?
Nah, what guy got beat?
Nah, we just played the video of the cops approaching the car and...
Oh, that motherfucker, yeah.
Let me see if
we just listened to it.
Okay, let me hear.
Well, we didn't listen to it, but, we just viewed it.
Okay, let me see. Oh, you viewed it. This is a beating. Traffic stop. Damn it. Traffic stop. I thought that was breaking news because did you guys? Anybody actually see it? These cops out of control. They broke the fucking window. They always know how to break in the windows.
They said there was another incident that happened in Florida that's very similar to that one as well.
Wow. Okay. Let me see if I can play it for you guys. Viral video. Let me see if it's this one. All right. Let me see if I can play it.
And then we're gonna move over to Epstein and like I said, and then the baby thing will probably take us till midnight, and then I'm zonked. I gotta go to bed.
I need to tweak an asset.
Hold on.
Definitely.
Zombie? What the fuck is zombie?
These things have commercials. You have to just go through it unless you pay for it. I don't pay for anything anymore. Okay, where's it going?
YouTube Premium is worth it.
Huh?
It's worth the $29.
No, it's not.
I don't think
Okay,
it's
you
for
read.
education.
I do.
My son made me do it. I signed up for it. He made me do it. Well, he's neurodivergent. He's on the spectrum, so he hates interruptions. So he made me sign up for it, but I really don't see the difference. The commercials are not even awesome.
Well, the difference is you get the YouTube music as well, and you also add multiple accounts on there. So that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm not into it that much.
So I have it because I use it. My mother uses it, and that way she's able to look at, like, say, YouTube channels in Haiti. I have 20,000 different distractions.
Oh, that's different. That's different.
And also, if you follow any like instructors on YouTube,
Put that on your tab by
easier.
you and me.
Yeah,
Put
keep
that on
all
your
the fucking
tab.
interruptions.
I'm not on YouTube unless I'm doing something you guys.
Put that on your tab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, that's every day.
Man, we ain't gonna judge you, man.
Let me get
I don't know about homophobic. I don't like homophobic.
This is crazy. To me, it looks horrible. This young man is doing everything wrong. And this is what my greatest fear. These young black men, I just have so much fear for my boys. I really, really do. I'm just like, man, and now they're trying to drive, and they're at 10 and 12 o'clock with their hands and jerking and stopping that. Why you can't just film your body. Okay.
I want to give you.
I can't with them driving because those bumps and things, they can't get up. They can't get I cannot do this. So they gonna probably get stopped because they look crazy driving. All right, so let me play this.
The young man did handle
Okay, so let's listen to it first. This is what went wrong because I have never. I haven't seen it though. I was going to the kitchen to get some juice and come back to the computer, and that's what's on the TV. And I just saw when the cop busted his window out, and he was just sitting there. So I'm like, okay, what is this about? And then I come and look it up, and it says it's viral. So
Look, hey, you might be asking a question wrong.
Check it out.
Ain't that motherfucker wrong?
nuts. Okay, here we go.
It was a gay situation.
Video shows a shocking interaction between local police officers and a driver. The reaction from an attorney as police launched an internal investigation. Now taking a live look downtown where the first look weather team is tracking some relief on the way after the hottest weekend of the year. Good evening, I'm here to a man who got video of Jacksonville sheriff's officers pulling him out of his car and hitting him has now hired high-profile lawyers. We told you at 6:30 about the video that has started a JSO investigation and has tens of thousands of people reacting online. It was broadcast live at Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Was the man who represented George Floyd's family is going to represent him.
Yeah, lawyers confirmed the man's name as William McNeil Jr. He said that he hired Ben Crump and Harry Daniels. And we also spoke for attorney ourselves who said if the video tells the whole story, then the man may have a case against JSO. And we warn you, the video you watch may be disturbing to some.
I will say that video seems very over the top in terms of the officer's behavior.
Chris Carson is one of thousands of people reacting tonight to a video that has started a JSO investigation. The video shows a February 19th traffic stop. According to William McNeil Jr., it all started when an officer pulled him over, claiming he needed to have his headlights on in cloudy weather. I said, so what I did wrong? He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. The driver says he questioned the stop and asked for a supervisor. That's when things escalated. Can you call your supervisor? Yeah, go for it. An officer breaks the car window and hits the driver in the face. The The driver puts his hands up and asks, "What's going on?" But then another punch is thrown. Carson says the officer's use of force appears unjustified.
And it doesn't even sound like there was really any criminal behavior that was alleged on the part of the gentleman. I mean, it's a traffic stop. Happened hundreds of times a day.
The video does not end there. Officers then take him to the ground. The driver said he got a chipped tooth, 9 stitches in his lips, a concussion, and even had short-term memory loss after.
There definitely are circumstances where force can be warranted, but from everything that we're seeing in the context of this video, I don't really see it there. And frankly, it seems unnecessary.
GSO released a statement Sunday saying it has launched an internal investigation into the incident. Carson says the legal issues go beyond just policy violations. He believes civil action may be possible or even criminal charges.
We have seen cases over the years, I've handled cases where law enforcement officers are actually charged with crimes for things that they did in the course of their police work. That is something, albeit it's rare, but it certainly legally can happen.
We did look to see if McNeil was facing charges. A man with the same name arrested that day pleaded guilty to driving with a suspended license and resisting an officer. And he also was charged with marijuana possession, not having his headlights on, nor his seatbelt. Full coverage you can count on. Reporting live in Jacksonville, I'm Nicholas Brooks, Action News.
Okay, so that's what happened, and you guys have to go look at it. Okay, so Haitian, so tell me what happened that you think he did wrong.
So the version I heard, the audio, was him kind of going back with the forth with the officer, right? And about the headlights. And he said to the officer that, you know, everybody, like, there's a bunch of other people who don't have it on as well, right? So when he's telling them that's illegal, he's asking him at that point, do you have the law? Can you show me the law? Who the fuck is going to show you the law on the side of the road? That's for court. And the cop who hit him 100% was fucking wrong was the opposite cop. And when he grabbed him out, it ended up being 3 officers. It was 2 white cops and a black officer above him, hovering over him, right? But my point is, what were we going to win at that point? Nothing. Take the fucking ticket and go to court.
That's it. So yeah, it seemed like he was trying to, his actions provoked, do you think, or do you think that he's at fault for provoking the cop to escalate? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's for example, when I get pulled over, I pull over, I make sure my radio's off, I roll down, well, not roll, but hit all my windows, so all my windows are down, right? Hands are visible. So that's what we need to be teaching, like you said, our young men, because we all can have tempers, but at the end of the day, the cops they're gonna fucking, you know, you have to go deal with the bullshit. And at the end of the day, yes, he was wrong. It's a suspended license. If he had the weed on him and his fucking shit wasn't on, so just fucking take the ticket and keep it moving. You probably would have got off in court anyway. That's my point.
So,
go ahead.
No, one thing I said it earlier, but it sounded to me that when the video starts, the cop that he was speaking to was not there when he first talked to the other cops. So there was already a delay because he wasn't quote unquote complying with the other officers. And then when that other officer came, he was talking to him and telling him what happened. And then when that officer was like, well, he was like, but it wasn't raining. And the officer was like, well, either way, you know what I mean? You still have to pull over because it doesn't matter if it's raining or not. And then he was like, well, can you show me the law? And he's like, yeah, when you get out the car, right? And then he was like, well, can I see a supervisor? So it's almost like you're now on the 3rd delay, right? Because you really just don't want to get out the car. And I'm definitely not, blaming the victim, but I see what Haitian is saying, and he's definitely going to win the lawsuit against the police department for the abuse. But when I watched the video, I thought for a second that he might be a Moor, because that's the type of shit that they do. They'll just like delay because they feel like you don't have any jurisdiction over them at all.
Yeah, but he didn't. I saw the.
You know, he didn't. No, he didn't. It put me in the mind. Like I was like, I wonder. But then he didn't say anything more-ish. So you know, I let it go. But that's what it reminded me of, because it was clear that he was on the second officer that arrived, and I thought that he might be talking to the supervisor. But then when he asked to see the supervisor, I realized that the person he was talking to wasn't the supervisor.
Can I give an alternate view? So I saw that video this morning, and then recently I saw the the body cam released by the sheriff's department, which doesn't capture all of the information. So thank God he had his own dash cam, because the 2.5 minute video that I saw from the sheriff's department did not capture all of that conversation. My alternate view would be some, especially in the state of Florida, some black males are afraid if they get out, they can kill them anyway. So in that split second, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Haitian, but I know for a fact I've heard black men say, hey, listen, and they know they disappear evidence, they lie, they cover for each other. They're afraid also that if they come out, I'm just offering another view. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I get what you're saying. You go comply. But I know some black males I've heard speak that they're just as afraid that they feel safer in their car than if they get out, especially if they have something that they're not supposed to have on them, that they're going to be deep sixed or really, really beat up or hurt or what have you. So I see both sides, and I think that's just why, listen, you riding in Florida, you best be having a dash cam. I'll leave your phone recording.
Absolutely. But with that though, right? If that's the sentiment that he had, wouldn't it be wiser just to fucking get the ticket and keep it moving?
But I'm telling you,
Haitian, you said a couple things that I was gonna stand and go, but you said a couple things that I'm like, I'm gonna say something real quick, because and this is from the viewpoint of a black male, a big black male that's dealt with a lot of cops, and I know how they move. LAPD is no joke. I don't know what y'all know about LAPD, but they get down. What the cops did, let me preface it with this: they definitely abused their power during that interaction. There was definitely physical abuse during that interaction, no question about it. However, with that being said, right, they didn't need to punch him or do none of that shit. He wasn't a violent person. He wasn't really resisting arrest directly, but indirectly, he was. And you have to understand the law, and it's critical that as black males, we really intricately understand the law, right? And the second that you're driving on a suspended license, that is an arrestable offense, right? Yep. It's an arrestable offense. You don't get the same leeway as the person that's getting a ticket for speeding that can ask for the supervisor. Once you're committing an arrestable offense and they ask you to exit the vehicle, you have to comply. You have to exit the vehicle, or they can use, air quotes, reasonable force to extract you from said vehicle, right? Now, what they did, in my opinion, as far as reasonable force goes, was unreasonable and excessive. However, you gave them the right to put hands on you when you did not comply in the commission of a crime. I know you guys don't think I'm not going to say you guys, I know a lot of people don't think it's a crime, but in Florida, driving on a suspended license is a serious crime in their eyes. And I think all states.
Yeah, but they don't have a light. They open-handed slapped him in the car.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish. Okay. I've seen the video multiple times. I already said they should not have open-handed slapped him, and they also punched him after.
And then they punched him when he came out.
Right. Yes. All that's excessive. We're not. That's nothing to debate. That's undebatable, irrefutable. I agree with you 1,000%. But when he's refusing to get out of the car, they legally have the right to now put physical hands on you. If you don't want to be forced to exit a car, right,
which, like you said, they don't feel comfortable when they're driving with weed on a suspended license. I guess most people wouldn't feel comfortable if you're driving with weed on a suspended license. But you know what? If you don't do those actions, they can't make you exit the vehicle. So there is some.
Did they tell him he was suspended?
Yes.
Did they tell him his license was suspended?
Yes.
And remember that they broke the window because his windows was not going down. His windows did not work.
Yeah, he said it didn't work.
Correct. So that's the reason they broke the windows.
And I think some people.
You step out the car.
Do you follow what I'm saying, Haitian? You know, bro, we're on the same page. I think some people are missing in the audience, right? In a sense, right? Of what I'm trying to get at. I'm not saying tap dance with the police officers. First of all, let's start off with this. Not every police officer is going to be a fucked up officer. My brother just retired after 20-some years at NYPD in June. Okay, so there's at the end of the day, whatever. That's a whole other story. But my point is, we're dealing with a Trump administration who wants to give officers 100% fucking immunity. So I'm not going to have my son arguing a fucking road officer over a fucking little bullshit traffic ticket, right? Because Trump is going to give that officer immunity. And you know what's going to happen to Dad? Dad's going to use his military skills of blowing shit up and blow up the whole fucking family's households. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's my point of be smart of when you get pulled over by cops.
Yeah. I think the men are saying that the officers are 100% wrong, but they're also holding the driver accountable, and they're saying that you have to comply. That's what it is.
Yeah, especially when you're a young kid. Like, don't look at some shit you saw on YouTube, and then now you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna practice now with two dickhead out officers that one of them I was already arguing with for who knows how long, and I'm now speaking to his partner. He's now getting more mad because he's not complying to, I'm not doing what he wanted me to say, and now his partner's telling me, fuck off too. Now I want a supervisor. And then he's letting me get in the car. Now I'm telling him, well, can you show me the law?
Well,
a lot of officers don't even know the fucking law, what the laws are.
No, they don't. They don't.
Hey, can I ask a question?
But they should know.
I've heard this. They definitely should know that.
What they should know is it's not going to save your ass when you're on the side of the road with a bullet in your head.
You're
so that's the point of not debating.
Yeah, now you got three motherfuckers on top of you on the floor. Now you can't breathe. Like, come on, guys. Yeah. And we're speaking on what you guys are going to tell your sons. That's what we're speaking on right now.
Here's the thing. I wanted to ask Haitian. Here's the thing. I'm actually having the same disagreement with my husband, right? My husband says, just comply. Whatever, even if they're breaking your rights, even if they're completely going against all of your civil liberties, just complying, because we're gonna get out, you're gonna come home that day and not with a bullet in your head. Me, on the other hand, I go, why would you comply to an illegal order?
Katrina, did you just hear what you just said?
This shit is crazy, man.
Katrina, but did you just hear what you just said? You said your husband told you that he should comply so he doesn't get a bullet in your head, and you disagree with that. Do you know the opposite of that conversation is don't comply and get a bullet in your head, stand up for yourself? That doesn't...
I'm sorry, I do sound ignorant right now. And yes, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. Cops are always super fucking nice to me. As a matter of fact, I've never...
No, but it's not about you being ignorant. I'm just telling you just literally what you're saying right now on the stage. You literally just said you disagree with a kid getting a bullet in his head.
That's not what she's saying.
No, what I'm saying...
That's exactly what she's saying.
No. I guess, okay, so I'm going to clear myself up. What I'm saying that instead of just continue complying, right? I'm not saying don't do whatever you need to do to survive. But instead of just saying just comply to the system, at the same time we need to fight and change the system.
So right.
But that's not the time to try to change the system when you're getting pulled over. What are we talking about right now?
And let me respond to that real quick also.
I wasn't saying in that moment change the system. I'm just saying that, that's like that's oppression. You're 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. You keep having oppression people, and people they go, oh, just comply, and you're gonna be okay. But they're getting worse and worse. So we have to fight at the same time.
Yeah, no, we don't disagree. I don't think no one disagrees with you there.
Katrina.
Go ahead,
Judy.
I was gonna say no one disagrees, but to Mel's point, it can't happen in that moment because the bottom line is what happened was clear cut. I think Dr. Goddess said it simply. and Haitian and Gemini, they over-abused their power, clear. The punching of the face, I mean, all that was excessive. If they would have literally just, if he didn't open his window, fine. You had to bust the window. None of us would have been tripping about that. But then you punch him in the face. We are tripping about that because all they had to do was bust the window, take his seatbelt off, pull him out, and, you know, put him on the ground. Not all that. The rest of it was extremely excessive. That part of it, I could see happening because he didn't comply. When he, to Gemini's point, you're on a suspended license and you're doing all that. The problem is the messaging. Unfortunately, there are some aggressive-ass cops, and we know that. We know there's corrupt and aggressive-ass cops. So the problem is we can't take the chance telling young people to fight it right there at the stop. We have to fight it, you know, in the courts, whatever, you know, wherever else tactics people feel they need to use. That, you know, and I understand that shit has been working. They're getting worse, but I guarantee you the answer isn't at the stop.
I just want to make myself clear. I was not saying at the stop. I just want to make myself very clear. I was.
Well, that's what we're talking about, Katrina. We're talking about at the stop.
Yeah, because like what you're saying, you know, and I'm not saying that you're saying. I know that's not who you are, but it almost comes off like, you know, you're scared. I'm not a docile person. It's in my blood to fight. But at the end of the day, you gotta be smart about shit. And again, we're having a conversation of what we were saying to a young man. Who police officers was also going to look at it very differently. They're going to look at someone who's in their 40s wearing a fucking suit in a different demographic vehicle, right? So they're not necessarily going to talk to me as they talk to my 18-year-old fucking son who has locks.
The only thing
again, you want your children to have the least amount of fucking contact with the police officers. That's it.
You do. But let me just say something real quick, because when we just say that just comply thing, I could tell y'all my story. It's different. The only issue is sometimes, and this situation might not quite be that, but when everybody just says, just comply, sometimes you don't even understand what's going on. And you're just like, everybody's just go limp when they grab you. They rushed me, and I didn't even know they were talking to me. Because I didn't do nothing wrong. And so a person that was watching me kind of said, just comply. And I was like, bro, to who? They didn't identify themselves, so you might see a video, and this video is a little different because he's already interacting. But when people are always just saying, just comply, if somebody just grabs you on the street,
that's not.
And you don't understand, like, wait, just tell me what's going on, fam. Like, I don't even know who you are. Just comply is not always just gonna fix everything, because sometimes all you're trying to do is figure out what's going on.
So check this out, y'all. So check this out. Dragon is on the stage, and he's a lawyer, so maybe he has better insight on what would happen.
Yeah, but let me just respond to Monty. Monty, so that's not what I'm saying. We're talking about that particular situation, not like ICE coming to grab you in the street and you're just like, okay, I'm getting in the vehicle with you. Because if you hear me, between ICE, there's a whole.
How the hell we get to ICE?
We're all over.
So wait 1 second.
So Dragon is on the stage, so why don't y'all let
Dragon,
him
do
have
you
a
want to say anything?
Hey y'all. So I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I'm a white man. It's obvious. And my father was a lawyer, and he had a little bit of political power. But I tell you what he told me. He said, Terry, never ever fight with a police officer unless you're in front of a judge. What? It was really good advice. And to that, I've added to my sons, never fight with a judge unless you're in front of an appellate judge. So this is hard to stomach, okay? It's hard to swallow, because some of these cops are they're just fuckers. I'm sorry. And they're trying to rile you up and get you to fight. But the time to fight, and that's what whoever's talking, I think it was JD, is it's the time to fight. And I sue police officers, okay? And they got lots and lots of, legal immunities, and Trump's talking about even beefing those up. It's bad. And that should not be allowed. But we all have to resist. I'm about 100% about resisting this, all of it. But
please, especially to the black folk who were mostly in the room, do not argue with a police officer unless you're in front of a judge. That's all I can urge you to do.
One thing I do want to say is you want to make sure you state your rights. You let them know that you understand your rights. You document the situation to the best of your ability, right? But you don't physically resist and you remain compliant. A lot of things you want to articulate, that's just for clarity, because hopefully you're recording and documenting. And they do have different ways you can document. Everybody on this app has a smartphone or you can be here, right? And they have a lot of different ways. They have one word command you can give to Siri that will automatically darken your phone, turn on your recording, and start documenting instantly. And the cop can't even tell you're documenting. And then you can articulate your case, not just for him, but for your documentation that you're prepping at that moment. But in that moment, you always want to be compliant. You can catch them later. You get a good attorney. You go plead your case in court. You've documented appropriately. But go ahead and make sure you document the situation. Definitely say your rights. You know what? I didn't do this. I didn't do that. State that. But you don't need to be combative. The second you become combative, you're going to lose that, because that's not just a police officer. That's a man with a gun, right, on the side of the road, right?
Then we also got. Can I elaborate real fast?
1 second.
Then we got to also.
And
Mom finished talking.
And you always want to consider that. And I'm going to give y'all a quick example. One time I was speeding. I was coming back from Vegas to LA. And that trip was very boring. And a lot of the times, just to be blunt with you guys, I would do 90 all the way back home, which is not smart. And I don't advocate for anybody to do that stupid shit. But I do it, right? And I was on the back road, which is a one lane this way, one lane that way road. And the police officer going at least 90 to 100 at that point. And I knew I was fucked. Like, there was no question about it. I'm speeding my ass off on this back road, and it's just me and him. I look in my rearview mirror. I see the brake lights. Okay, he coming. He U-turned, hit his lights. I'm not even going to make him chase me. I pulled over to the side of the road. I'm with a friend of mine. We both big guys. We're on the side of the road. Turn on the headlights. I mean, not the headlights, but the cabin lights, so he can see inside of the vehicle when he is approaching the vehicle. He behind me. He asked me, as he's approaching the car, he is looking like he wants to shoot. Like, I have no weapons on me, nothing, right? I'm just coming back from Vegas. And as he's approaching the vehicle, I'm nervous as fuck. Like, shit, this dude, like, he's reaching right now, and I don't have nothing. And he goes, you know, I want to let you know my gun's unholstered. That's his first words to us, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't got a weapon in the vehicle, so I don't know why your gun's unholstered. You know, he's just letting us know, like, basically, I'm ready, right? Which is crazy to me. We have presented no threat to him, right? So at this point, I'm telling my friend next to me, hey, go ahead and put your hands on the dashboard. I got on the steering wheel, and that's where we at with it, you know? And he's like, do you got your license? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not reaching for it. You just told me you got your gun unholstered. And he goes, do you know I pulled you over? I go, I was speeding. He goes, yeah, you were. I go, I know. And he goes, okay, well, do you have your license? I'm not reaching for it. You said your gun's unholstered. There are no weapons in this car. There's nothing in this car. There's nothing illegal in this car. He's flashing his light in the back seat. He's looking around. I'm like, you know what? If you want to search the car, feel free to search the car. And I know I don't have to grant you that right, but you can search the car. We don't got shit, bro. We're not doing shit, bro. I was speeding and I got it. And he goes, you know what? Follow this light. And I follow the light around. And he goes, just tell me your information. So I give him my information. And he backs off. And the way he's backing off, he never turns his back on us. And I get it. We're on a lonely road, and it's just him. He wasn't with a partner, and I am with a partner, right? So he goes back to his car, and he comes back, and he goes, you know what? Drive slower, have a good night. Gun off. He didn't want that interaction because he was nervous by the size of us. But I could have reacted in a lot different way. Like, fuck you. You got your gun out. I am on the side of a road as a black man. I think I handled that situation perfectly because I made it home without a ticket, alive. Right? There's no reason to be combative. You need to understand how to handle these situations and cut your pride sometimes. Right?
I'm not ever giving permission to search my interior ever. I'm never yelling them that way.
Let me wait, it's hard to hear you.
Yeah.
Wait, 1 second, you guys. So I just wanted to go back to I think it was either Haitian or Gemini that said, you know, don't let watching the internet get you caught up. Right? And so this dude, he definitely, you know, has been watching the internet shit. Okay? And I definitely believe that he was watching, like, the Moors, because that's all they fucking do. is resist the police and talk about their fucking sovereignty. Now, he didn't mention sovereignty, but he knew enough to say, I want to speak to your supervisor. You see what I'm saying? And remember, he was on the second police officer. He had already told the other police officers, the first ones who told him to, pull over, open it, roll down his window, et cetera, and he was standing up for his rights, right? So, like, you could do that. But when the other officer comes and you tell the other officer, well, he told me, that he pulled me over because I didn't have my lights on in the rain, but it's not raining. The officer said to him, it actually doesn't matter whether it's raining or not, right? And you see, he skipped right over that. He acted like he didn't hear the officer say that, but that is what the officer said. And then he's like Haitian said, then he's like, well, can I see the law? So that's, you're now like on your third delay. And then after that, you're like, well, can I speak to your supervisor? You're now on your fourth delay. So I just, everybody should just be kind of clear about, how this went down. Because, to me, this dude, I mean, again, we already said nobody deserves the abuse. And he's definitely going to win the lawsuit, okay? But I just hate to see black men watch that internet shit. You know what I mean? And you knew enough to ask for a supervisor and to ask for another officer or whatever, but you don't know enough to, like save your own life and not, have a situation like they had.
And I'm also a black man who's now an actual adult male with a child. I'm also a black male who, at my teens, was on probation and fucked with police and got fucked with all the time. So I'm not saying it as the police are right or not. I'm saying this is to fucking survive and make it past 21.
There's nothing wrong with asking for a supervisor. There's nothing wrong with asking for a supervisor. Wait. I agree you should have complied. And even while complying, there's nothing wrong with asking for a supervisor. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And let me just tell you something. I will never grant permission for to search my car unless it's white. Ever. I don't care about everything in there. You're not going to get permission to search.
It's hard to hear you, LaVon.
I said they plan stuff when they search your car, so I will never give permission to search my car unless it's white.
Who's the guy who is trying to speak?
Yeah, Grind been trying to get in for a minute. And everybody.
Yeah. I just heard that. I'm in here.
I just want to put some information in. Like I said, I'm a black man too. I'm a big one too. Housing authority, baby, and everything here in Atlanta, the heart of Atlanta. And I did the military. And in the process of doing the military, I learned that there was guys who just couldn't get right. And you had to get them guns too, because we're in the military. You got to give them guns and stuff. And those same guys, when they graduated, they went off to try to find life. Now, whatever life was, it could be whatever, but they needed to be able to pay their bills. So back a while ago, that's why I say Ephesians 6:12, wicked people in high places. Wicked even is in high places realize that if I lower the qualifications of cops, then I can make room for those retarded and dumbed down cops to come in and work. And one thing about a dumbed down person, they're gonna make mistakes because they're dumb. We can all agree on that. They're not the brightest. So now you put them in a hostile situation and you give them a gun and then you tell them to go out there and take control. So now you got a guy, like she said, 4 delays. A guy that's giving them 4 delays. So that means he got to go through 4 different situations where that dumbed down cop got to process something. As a black man, I don't want to challenge that, knowing the mindset of some of these cops is not that bright. So I'm going to tell my kid, if you want to make a home safe, which I do tell them, if you want to make a home safe, just comply, man. And whatever charge you can probably get, let us fight it in the courtroom. But if you try to fight it right there, you never know if you're dealing with a dumbed down cop. And it's a lot of them, because most police department right now is struggling to hire people. And people that are struggling to hire people, they hire less qualified people. So if you want to gamble with your life with a less qualified employee, hey, go ahead. But
I think sometimes he's right, because New York is short. They were saying this morning 3,000 officers, so they have lowered the requirements.
Yeah, it's gonna be real Police Academy, like the movie Police Academy. They're gonna hire some character cop, and now you got to go out there and try to deal with them.
Lisa, the link I put on top is the Jacksonville Sheriff's officer speaking on the incident. It's a live feed. I'm not sure if you could find it on YouTube, but he just spoke 25 minutes ago.
Oh my God. Hey, can you play that? I'm doing something with my hair.
Can I go after you play it?
Or you can go before, because he has to get it together.
So, I understand some of these conversations, and I get the comply conversation. I think what bothers me sometimes is that even when we comply, sometimes it just is never enough. And I think that's the part that bothers me that we're not discussing, because I've been listening to this conversation for the last 20 minutes, and all I've heard is comply, comply, comply. So I complied with an officer as a soldier, a young soldier. This officer in Atlanta, Georgia, had the audacity to tell me I had no business driving a nice car, and proceeded to call me a nigger, right? At a traffic stop that he pulled me over for, because you know what he told me? He told me that I merged into the left lane too quickly. That was what he was pulling me over for. Not for any other reason, but I was pulling into the left lane too quickly. Mind you, I literally was making a left turn into the left lane and merged in it as soon as the opening for the left lane turned. So it didn't even, I gave him my license, I gave him my registration, I said nothing to the officer. I complied with everything he said until he started calling me a nigger. And I said, sir, all that's unnecessary, right? Can I get a supervisor here? He decided that he wasn't going to get a supervisor, so he pulled me out of my car, right, slapped cuffs on me, and sat me down. And wanted to proceed to keep calling me a nigger, and all kinds of niggers, and all kinds of niggers. And then when his backup person decided to come, they both decided to laugh at me. Until they decided to search my pockets, and they found out I was a military member, active duty military member. And then it was the oh shit moment, right? Because now they're like, how are we going to drum this one up? So now they take me over to the county area. I ain't never been to jail before in my life, ever. I go over there. I'm nervous because I'm like, what the heck? They run my background check and find out that I'm not the one that they should have been fooling with. I end up having to pay $100 to bond out and didn't make my way back to that area again for another 20 years. So even when you comply sometimes, it really don't make a damn difference. In this country, when you black and they want to do some shit to you, they gonna do it. I'm not telling you shouldn't comply. What I am saying is at the end of the day, it's not always about compliance. I'm gonna go.
Right. I agree with you. Wait, hold on.
Brooklyn's going, guys.
Raz, I agree with you 110%, right? But are you sure you was in the city of Atlanta?
I was in Cobb County.
You was in Cobb County. That made more sense. I'm like,
there you go.
Sure.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
But Ray, can I just say this? You did, at the end of the day, from the story that I heard, you did comply. And I think the point everyone on this stage is making is you complied and you went home. I think that's the point of the message. It's not when you don't comply that they're somehow just gonna not violate any of your rights. I don't think no one on this stage said that. I think the main message is when you choose not to comply, you may not end up going home. I think that's the point of it. But your rights may still be violated. Very well.
But that's my problem. Your rights are still being violated. Because do you think it was okay for an officer to keep calling me a nigger?
Oh, no, definitely not. No, right, that's what I'm saying. But so you went home, though.
Okay, and what I'm saying is, because at the time, I needed to get home to my children, I wasn't going to allow my anger to get the best of me. But unfortunately, some of these police officers push your buttons. And I'm not saying it's right at all. But then when I'm asking you for a supervisor, which is my right to have, and I'm telling you, you cannot search my car because I know what a legal search and seizure is. I'm very clear on what the Constitution says. I have to give you permission in order for you to go and search my car. You still want to do what you want to do. And that's problematic on a lot of levels.
Yeah, look, I don't
Here's the thing.
You're right.
From 1 second.
What you just described is a good case, Rez. A very good case. And no one's saying that anybody should roll over on this stuff. It's just pick your spot. And, you know, a lot of attorneys would take a case like that, even on a contingent fee. And, yeah, they got a lot of slack, you know. But someone was saying document. Absolutely. What do they look like? Do they wear a wedding ring? What do their shoes look like? You know, and get your phone out and start recording. And if they, you know, demand you stop, you don't necessarily have to in many states. In my state, we don't have to stop recording them. So, you know, we all have, you know, these recording devices now, so we can have our own cameras and our own recordings. So this, and let me say this, okay? I mean, this is a hard job. I mean, it is. I mean, you're almost like not going to win either way, but, you know, it does not excuse abuse of anybody. And nobody should have to take that. And I'm telling you, if there are enough good lawyers around to take cases like this on contingent fee and hold those people to account. And a final thought, okay? Many states have what are called tort claim notices, okay? The state I live in is one of them. If you have a bad situation with a police officer like this, you have to write them within 180 days, write the city, write the county, and say, I just had this incident, this is my tort claim notice, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to bring the suit. So there's a lot you can do, but I agree with you too. You don't just say, oh yeah, you want to search my car, fine. No, it's like, well, what's your probable cause for searching my car? What is it that gives, you know, you believe a right to search my car? You don't be bossy, you don't act like a know-it-all, but you just ask them nice questions. And if they can't answer them, then they're going to be in trouble. But do not argue with these people on the street.
With dragons,
Sorry.
are you saying?
Hold on. Say something really quick to Rez, please, really quickly. Rez, I 100% agree with you. And the reason why me and my husband sometimes have that discussion, and I disagree with him, is I understand that, like, yes, you need to comply in the moment. But you know what? How many instances have there been when it's an autistic child or an autistic teenager, right? They're quote unquote are not complying. Well, guess what? Just if we're all just gonna sit here and accept the fact that we're just gonna comply, right? And then we're just gonna go to court and figure this out in court. I'm sorry, I keep track of all the cases where cops have either physically assaulted or shot an autistic individual who's nonverbal, right? And I'm like Dragon is saying, take it to court. Motherfuckers don't get what they deserve. They don't get charged with murder. They get put on desk duty, or they resign and they go to another state and they fucking work in another state because their record doesn't follow them. So instead of saying take it to court, that shit is already not working. We need to change the laws, and that's what I'm saying, that we need to, like, the fighting, not just, I'm not saying in the moment, like physically fighting with them, but I just feel like this comply.
There's a good point, Katrina. That's a good point that you make, Katrina.
No, it's not.
And they still
You're right.
fucked up.
It is, because you think about it. It was a boy down here. It was a boy down here in Georgia that was suffering from a mental health episode, and he got killed. Like, the lady that got shot in the head on camera, mental health.
Yeah, Sonia Massey.
So it's hard to say.
He was having a mental health breakdown.
How many of y'all gonna talk over Brooklyn? Go ahead, Brooklyn.
It's okay. It's all right, because they was just helping me out. But it's hard to just comply all the time. Like, it's not that easy. And I know that that's what we think. Like, if we just do everything right, but what if you're having a mental health episode or anything to happen, like anything to happen, and they deem it as you're being aggressive, and then bam, you're dead or you're beat up real bad, or you know what I'm saying? Like, the laws do need to change. They got to do something about it. But what I'm afraid of is the fact that this administration, you have a president and governors and all of the time that they're for and okay with this type of police brutality. That's what we're gonna have a problem.
You can't. Like, I just want to ask Dragon. Okay, I just want to ask Dragon.
What's the question?
Oh, okay. My question is, yes, you did do everything right? And yes, you got what you were not supposed to get from that. But why didn't you press any charges or do anything after the whole incident? Because for me personally, I'm not going to give anybody an excuse to shoot me for any reason. I will comply and let him go. I'll do whatever I want. We can get to court and then we'll fight it out later.
Okay, but this was 1996. I was a young girl in my 20s. And in 1996, during that time, one, there was no videotape evidence anywhere. Who the hell was going to believe the black girl? Just because I was in the military didn't mean shit to nobody back then. Do you know the bullshit that I dealt with just being in uniform alone? I'm a Desert Storm veteran. Okay, I'm an OIF veteran. I'm an OEF veteran. Do you think people give a shit about what I did or didn't do? They only want to give a shit when it's good for them. But at the end of the day, I didn't have options back then. There are options now, and I'm not saying they aren't. But I'm just gonna say, Uncle, today, here's what happened. Breonna Taylor's aunt has been arrested. You know why? Because she was upset in a court that they literally gave one of the officers who shot and killed this girl in her house for a no-knock warrant that didn't have shit to do with her, and then they had the wrong address on top of it, right? They've given him 1 day in jail is what this current DOJ administration asked, or time served. And this girl is gone. Yes, I'm dead serious. 100% look it up. I have no reason. See, and this is the shit that I'm talking about. And hold on. This is the shit that I be talking about on these stages where we are so oblivious to some of the things that are really happening, because it's like we talk about compliance. This girl was in her house. She was minding her damn business. She was shot and killed.
Let her finish. Let her finish, and then you go after Uncle.
Look, sorry, I was going to ask a question. Let me just quickly. I don't know who Class is, but why is he making that kind of comment in the chat? I just don't know. All right, I'll go in the chat. I'll let her finish, and then I'll deal with it in the chat. Thank you.
Got it. I'm saying to you, Uncle,
I dealt with it already.
Sometimes you don't know what your options are and you don't know what your rights are, especially some young folks. Now, do I think that it's changed a little bit? Yes, people know their rights a little bit better. But at the end of the day, the problem is still we have this blanket immunity for police officers, which is where the law needs to change at the end of the day. And it's not going to happen under this administration. And until police officers are held accountable, until, like Homegirl said, and I agree with her, they're not allowed to change after they've had, they've had internal investigations, they've been found guilty of all kinds of stuff internally in other departments, and then they just go from one state to another because they keep switching departments, but they're still doing the same shit. At some juncture, that has to stop. And this is where we need to get the legislature involved and to fix the laws. Now,
Hey, okay, real quick. I had a question. Hold on. I had a question for Dragons, real quick.
Hey, real quick, though. 1 second, real quick. I have a friend that's a police officer. I'm gonna bring him on to give some insight from a police officer's point of view on how we should handle these situations and what his point of view is on the situation. Y'all free to ask him whatever questions y'all like, but be respectful because this is a friend of mine. He's a solid dude, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring him on the stage in just a second here.
I'm sorry.
Wait, can I get in at this?
Yeah. Hold on, man. I got a question for Dragons.
All right, Monty, hold.
Yeah, go.
We have one on my that want to.
How are you oblivious if you say it comply?
Are you talking to me?
No, to Rez.
What about it? What did you ask me?
How are you oblivious if you say something, if you say to comply, you're oblivious?
What are you talking about? I don't understand.
You just said before people on the stage that are oblivious, some people comply.
I said there are some people. I'm not speaking for everybody. I said there are some people that are oblivious to what the law is and what they can and cannot say. That's what I said, because he asked me about suing. And I said I was oblivious at that time. I didn't know anything about suing. That's what I was discussing.
Yeah, I mean, you explained it was 1996, but one really quick thing is police officers have what's called qualified immunity. Qualified immunity. It's not blanket. That's what Trump wants to do. He wants to change it to unqualified. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you got to be. We got to be on the ball, man. We got to fight that. That's horrible. I mean, it's horrible. And again, I don't want to say police are always wrong. They're not. But let me tell you this, when a police officer pulled you over, Rez, wrongfully, sounds like, but then he starts with explicit racial epithets, like calling you the N-word, no. That automatically triggers a federal claim called 1983, okay? And that is pretty powerful. It's a civil action. You don't have to wait for a prosecutor. So the more you know about this stuff, the better. But
Dragon, that is the issue. You're saying it is a civil.
Hey, Katrina, can you not jump the line?
Hold on,
Katrina, we're not jumping the line. Thank you. Go ahead, Dragons.
What these municipalities care about a lot of times is money. Let's face it. And, once they get tagged again and again, they will change their behavior. And the place to fight these guys is in the courts, because the other option is not pretty, and people are going to get hurt, and some people are going to get damn killed. Now, I'm not saying that, at a certain point, but it ain't now until, everybody is holding hands and, got each other's backs. We're not going to fight this thing on the street. It is not a thing to do to try to fight this on the street one at a time. I'll put it that way.
Okay, Dragons, I just wanted to ask you this, man.
Dragons, real quick.
Can I ask him this real quick?
Hey, Monty, hold it for 1 second, man. Like, I have my friend here, and I wanted to give him a chance to speak because I want to be respectful of his time. He's taking some time out of his day to give us a police officer's point of view. So if y'all want to direct questions, I think it'd be better to speak to someone that's actually a police officer right now and acting in that capacity.
I have a question. I don't know if there's a question queue, but whenever there's a chance, Gemini, I do have a question.
Okay, well, first, I would like him to kind of give his thoughts on the video that even led to this discussion, because I forwarded it to him so he can give a police officer's point of view on the way that stop was handled. And then we can get to any questions. Just keep it respectful with him, and we'll leave it right there.
All right, so y'all can hear me?
Can you hear him?
Can hear you. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so with a traffic stop, there is case law that supports anytime an officer makes a legal traffic stop, they can order the person out of the vehicle. And it's a safety thing, because if I can't get you out of the vehicle and I'm parked in the vehicle behind you, a lot of people's rear glasses are tinted. Mine is. My glass is tinted to 0.5% on my personal vehicle. It's hard for me to drive at night, honestly. But it's for my safety that I have my glass tinted because of the things that I carry in my truck. And a lot of it is owned by the state. I don't have many personal weapons, but I do have a lot of the weapons in my truck that are owned by the state. I work for the state. So you can order somebody out of a vehicle if you stop. It's legal. They told him it was a headlight issue. He said that there were other people without headlights. That's fine. After we deal with you, we'll go deal with them too. The problem came in with the punch. The breaking of the glass isn't even a problem because he's clearly resisting. You can break the glass and get him out of the vehicle. But I don't know if they pulled the door handle first. They could have saved themselves some trouble because it's not easy to break car windows. And it escalates things a lot. If you could get if the car is in park and the doors aren't locked, open the door and stand in the door where he can't close it. And a lot of those things like that comes with experience. The punch is dead wrong, period. There's nobody that'll look at that video, police officer or not, and not say that punch was all ego. I'm the police, I'm here telling you what to do, and you're not doing it, I'm highly upset now. That's my take on it. The punch was 100% ego-driven, and it was a power trip, and it's 100% wrong. So, I mean, that young man is going to collect a check, a nice one.
Gemini, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, ask him a question.
I'm sorry, I don't want to hold up nobody's time. That won't take long. I wanted to say, as a police officer, right, trying to see it from your perspective. Okay, in this particular instance, his headlights were supposed to be on, but like the gentleman said, it was light out. As we could see, the video was light out. So as a police officer, most of the time when you pull over a person in this instance, you run a check on their license plates, right? So if the license plate comes back clean, and you got a situation that transpired up until where we seen him punch through the window, and why couldn't he take it? Why couldn't he write a ticket out, put the ticket on the windshield, and walk off? It wasn't that serious to the point where it had to be even escalated to that fact. Now, if it was a case where the young man was speeding and he was, he made a illegal turn or something like that, I understand. I could rationalize that. But up until he broke the window and they punched him in the face. But this didn't even have to go that far.
Exactly.
One thing, before he answers, I do want to say this. Don't forget he was driving on a suspended license. That takes it out of the rim of the headlights. That's an arrestable offense.
Okay, to my knowledge, I didn't know that part of the video.
That's a problem. If he's got a suspended license, that's a problem for him.
Right. So if he has a suspended license, does he have what? Sorry. So if that is true and he did have a suspended license, is that the probable cause to forcibly remove him? Because I think without the suspended license, he's showing his hands. Does the officer, even though it's a legal traffic stop, does the officer have the right to demand he gets out of the car, even though you can see his hands, there's no one else in the car, without a suspended license issue?
Wait a minute, Gemini.
100% the officer can't remove him from the car. It's a legal traffic stop. The officer can tell him. If he doesn't comply with being told to get out the car, the officer can remove him 100%. So another thing, people have to be careful with what they see on videos. You see the video, you can see the officer's clear because the video is taken from inside the car. But that's how tint works on windows. You can see out, but you can't see in. So I don't know how dark the windows were tinted. And then as for it was daytime, our statute, I'm in Louisiana, our statute reads dusk till dawn. You need headlights. It's dusk right now. I can still see probably 2 miles down the road. But I can't point to the sun in the sky right now. There's no sun. There's light, but there's no sun. So headlights are required at this time, and the street lights are coming on already.
Yeah, I think that it was like clearly, the officer that broke the glass, he completely escalated the situation unnecessarily. Like, the other officer was at his passenger window having a casual conversation with him. Things didn't get to a heightened level. Maybe what I see...
We are suspended, and we...
That's his charges. That's what he's being charged with.
Yeah, but the police report lied and said the young man had a knife in his hand. So y'all need to go further into this because there is a report that came out.
Can I say something? Can I say something? And I'm not sorry for interrupting. The video is 2 minutes. You don't think they won that traffic stop for only 2 minutes? What happened before?
I'm not
what
sure.
happened before the video?
In the video, he was asking exactly what it was that he was getting pulled over for.
Okay,
and the cop said it was because.
How long is the video? How long is the video?
It's like 2 minutes. But the cop said
you ever been,
in the video.
Hold up, let me ask you. Hold up. Listen. Have you ever been stopped by the police?
Yes, several times.
Okay, did that stop last only 2 minutes?
No.
Yeah, but the sheriff released the body cam, and it was 2 minutes and 36 seconds released by the sheriff.
And in the report, it says that he brandished a knife, and that's why the police officers broke the window. So that is weird. That's super weird that you're saying in one instance that they can't see through a window, but they saw a knife. Come on, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't even make sense.
Understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying they couldn't see through the window. I'm saying it's possible that they couldn't see it.
But you're saying, but in the police report, it says that he had a knife. So how is it that you saw a silhouette of him? Hold on, sir. You saw the silhouette of him. You supposedly saw a knife, but you broke the window. And if you see the video, you could see this young man when he puts his hands up in the air, and they asked him to put his hands in the air. He had nothing in his hands. There was no knife. They lied in the damn police report. So it makes the cops' conversation even worse because now you guys are complicit in telling a damn lie, saying that this man had a weapon and he didn't. Man, come on.
That's not
why he broke the window.
Hold up. Not only
you guys can play the sheriff's and thing on top if you guys want.
Yeah, the body cam
play that. Let's hear what the sheriff said on top. I like to hear that.
But real quick,
like that,
don't even.
Hey, can you play that?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, hold on 1 second, bro. Haitian, can you play what's up top?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, give me a second. Let me set it up.
All right. While he's setting it up, the fact that they put that in the police report don't make any sense because in what police academy are they training them to go hands-on when a suspect is in possession of a knife?
Yeah, the body cam.
You can always go lower. With the use of force continuum, you can always go lower.
Say it again.
You can go with the use of force continuum. You can always go lower than the force needed. A knife justifies deadly force, correct? So hands on anything below deadly force is fair.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it would. I'm not saying it wouldn't be justified. I'm not saying it wouldn't be justified. I'm saying it's not logical. Like in any other scenario. In any other scenario, officer has responsibility to protect your own life.
A kid pulled the knife on me.
Hold up, he's responding. Go ahead.
I've done it personally. A kid pulled a knife on me. We were in the hallway, and I was at the end of the hallway. He pulled a knife on me. I'm cornered in the hallway. I punched him. I've done it personally. People, we in the realm of guns right now. Nobody fears a knife like that.
Can I say what the body cam showed? The sheriff released the body cam, and it stated that the guy on the opposite side of the assailant, he was having a conversation with him. Two other cop cars pulled up, sirens blazing. There was a cop on his passenger side, and he said, "I'm going to break the window." The cop on the opposite window said, "What?" And then he said, "I'm going to break the window." And then the cop said, "Go for it." Never in that conversation was anything mentioned about seeing a knife or any type of weapon. And that's released from the sheriff 2 minutes, 36 seconds body cam.
And wouldn't that be mentioned for officer safety? Because it's all about officer safety that they validate these actions, extreme, received as extreme to the public, but there is officer safety. Now, like to Levon's point, I think if there was any mention or sighting of a knife, they may have gotten this about. They still have to secure it, and they still have to remove him from the vehicle. But it's very unusual that they wouldn't mention that. Like you would think the knife would be all over the press right now, and then certainly reiterated by the body cam. But it's the stories aren't matching.
You would think he would hear a cop saying, "Hey, he's got a knife."
He said
that was kind of my whole point. Was the officer say, "Yeah, I've never seen." Obviously, there always is a anomaly where isn't the case, but I mean, at what point is an officer not going to put their own safety first before apprehending a suspect, especially when nobody, like the public's not in danger in that situation?
I'm sorry, can I just ask something really quickly? Sir, thank you for your job and everything, and I appreciate the good police officers. And you are looking at this with a viewpoint of a law-abiding police officer who is doing their job correctly. I think you would agree with me. There is a lot of police officers who do not do their job correctly, who take advantage of people. And even with the fact that you said that yes, you could pull somebody over for not having daytime running lights. I mean, Texas, we're supposed to have daytime running lights too. But
no, I didn't say daytime running lights. I said headlights. Daytime running lights and headlights are two totally different things.
Yes. But again, like it's a lot of cops would use that to racially profile, right? They would not pull me, a white woman, over for that, but they would use that as an excuse for racial profiling. And I think we're gonna all agree that exists. So when you say it is lawful traffic stop, yes, it is lawful traffic stop, but again, there could be racially profiling. And another thing I wanted to ask you is when a police officer is totally not doing their job, right? And that is my big fear about when people say comply. I have a child with disability, I have a child who is autistic, and I have seen police officers do some really brutal stuff. And I want my child to come home alive. So even if he quote unquote comply, he just can't comply to certain things. If he's nonverbal, he can't respond. And I guess the point is to what degree do we allow officers to kind of get away with this stuff, because the punishment right now is civil, and it's not really, it's usually you sue the police department, it's a civil suit. Yes, you get millions of dollars, whatever, but that cop is not, you didn't get full justice. The cop could still go to another state and work in another state and continue discriminating and breaking the law. And I think that is the big thing when people see videos like that it's just, there's too much leeway for those cops who break the law to continue doing what they're doing under the disguise of it was a legal traffic stop, if you know what I mean.
You said you had 2 questions, but I haven't heard one yet, like honestly.
She asked the question. She had answered them.
My question is to him is, would you agree with me that there are some cops that will use that excuse to racial profile, and there are police, the justice system doesn't really fix the issues because of the qualified immunity. And I understand you guys do need to have some kind of immunity for your job. It's a very dangerous job, but as well as a soldier and a firefighter. And I think if people are going to sign up for a job like that, then they shouldn't be scared on their job, right? If you're scared to do this job, don't go into that job. And you have certain responsibility, and letting cops get away with stuff by justifying and saying, well, technically what they were doing is legal. I think there's a certain line that we're crossing.
Katrina, I want to say this. The military,
what was your question, though?
The military has UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. And guess what? Everybody is subject to compliance regardless of who.
I guess my question would be if he agrees with two of my main statements.
You didn't have to mute. That was really rude.
I didn't mute you.
Well, somebody did.
Well, don't blame me when I didn't do it. If I did it, I'll tell you I did it. I didn't do it. Wow. Whoever muted her, if y'all want to say y'all did it, that's cool. If not, that's cool. But don't blame me for so. I'll tell you I muted you. If I mute or kick anybody, I'll tell you I did it. I didn't do it. Since there's a break, I will say this though. When I looked at the police report, they did not say he had a knife in his hand. They said they found a large unsheathed serrated knife on the driver's side of the floorboard.
They said they found that after the fact. They did not quote that as a reason to break the window.
So where y'all getting the police report said they broke the window because he had a knife? Because I was literally saying that's not why he broke the window. He broke the window because the other officer said, okay, go ahead after the fourth delay.
Exactly.
Where y'all getting that from? Levon? Whoever else was saying it?
I'm literally looking at the police report right here. They said they found it on the floorboard. They did not cite it as a reason.
Hold on.
I don't remember who said it, but I'm just asking.
Somebody said about the knife, and I said that was not mentioned in any of the videos that I saw.
Okay, Levon, you got to stop getting your information from Twitter, okay?
What are you talking about? I never mentioned my knife.
No, she never said nothing about a knife. She was just talking about what the article said. The only thing she said was it was not mentioned. That's it.
No, I never said anything about the knife.
Well, I just want to be clear. The knife was mentioned in the police report. However,
she was talking about in the article. The police report is going to be totally different. They did not have that in there early this morning.
Yeah, they're saying they found it on the floorboard. They're not citing it as the reason that they made entry to the car at all.
Yeah, I mean.
And Brooklyn, to answer your question, he was charged and did plead guilty. He's already to the driving with a suspended. That is a part of his charges.
Right, and resisting arrest never was as clearly shown in the video.
On February 20th, McNeil pleaded guilty to and was adjudicated guilty of resisting an officer without violence and driving on a suspended driver's license. We got to be accurate with what we're saying. I'm not going to say nothing that's not factually based. I'm not doing that because my friend is here that's a police officer. It's a fact. They shouldn't have punched him. They were violent. They overdid it. They fucking damn sure should be sued. No question about it. I have no qualms in saying that, right? But we also got to be real about the situation. If you're driving on a suspended license with weed on you, you might want to comply.
I'm going to say this is where I have a problem with your argument. Because at the end of the day, I didn't see anything about him that was being violent. He was talking to the officer the entire time, and at the end of the day, it seems like we always push the frigging goalposts. I'm not finished. We always push the goalposts as to what the hell compliance means. If I say it this way, this is not compliant. If I say it that way, I ain't compliant. If you say it this way, you comply. I mean, it's crazy to me what we are calling compliance and what we're not. Because I literally watched the same video y'all watched. The man is talking to the officer. The other officer decides, I'm just going to break this goddamn window and decide to throw this guy out of this damn vehicle. And here's where I have another
That's not what happened, Riz.
He was talking to the officer. Period.
That's not what happened.
I'm not going to argue with you, Dr. Goddess. I'm not.
What the hell?
Bottom line is
Can y'all pass me some crack, please? Thank you. I want the pipe with orange plastic.
Can I speak to a manager, please?
You know.
Bottom line.
Hold on, guys. Let me just say this one thing. Let me say one thing.
Y'all let her finish.
Let Rez come on here.
Check this out. The second one will keep going, right? Just let her finish.
Yeah,
it's not that serious. If you don't like it, if you don't like what she's saying, then refute it. But
yeah, you can refute it after I'm done. The bottom line I'm making is that there was excessive force use. I don't give a shit how you look at it. And at the end of the day, here's where I have the big problem. We always using the word damn suit. But here's where I have the problem. You know who ends up paying that suit? Not the damn police officer, not the police department, the damn taxpayer. We are paying the damn price for all these damn lawsuits when you have rogue-ass cops doing rogue-ass shit. And this is what I have a problem with all the damn time. There's a way bigger picture to this to me than anything else. We could get into all the finites about how it all displayed, how many times he stalled the police officer. We could get into all of that. But at the end of the day, here's what the fact is. The fact is they beat the crap out of this kid, bottom damn line, and at the end of the day, it was a routine fucking traffic stop. And I don't care whether he had a suspended license or not, he did not deserve to get his ass beat, and he does not now deserve to have $1 million fucking because he got his bad ass beat by some over fucking
what you call it, police. I'm just sick of this bullshit, man. Ugh.
So, what I wanted to say to you, give me a second.
I'll go after that.
What I wanted to say was, so I've been arrested multiple times. I got a fucking pass. Listen, I've been traffic stops all the time. I got a pass. No time within my pass, I did something wrong. If they ask me to do something, I got weed on me, I got other shit on me. You think I'm not gonna comply with what the fuck they ask me to do? Of course I'm gonna ask when I'm being stopped. But outside of that, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I'm doing the wrong thing. I've never driven with a suspended or a non-licensed driver. But if I know I'm not supposed to be driving, I'm shutting the fuck up and I'm doing what the fuck they asked me to do. Point blank. Point blank. Did he deserve that? No. No, he did not. But prior to the 2 minutes, something was going on prior to that as well. So what took place prior to the video started rolling? What took place? I'm not making an excuse, like I said. I'm not. But like I said, when you know you're not doing the right thing, when you're not doing the right thing, shut your fucking mouth and just do what they ask you to do. End the story.
No. You can comply, but you don't have to shut your mouth. You can respectfully ask.
Ron, you can fix your mic, love. You sound like you're on.
Your mic sounds crazy.
Can y'all make room for everybody else on the stage to speak? Because it's like the same voices keep going. Like maybe Ashton wants to say something, Drew, L, Moose, freaking Uncle.
Man, I've been.
Hey, I actually
have been able. Sloan, and I know Sloan like to talk. She ain't even open her mic yet.
Your Honor said he's trying to let people talk.
Y'all gotta let other people speak.
Well, I've been listening carefully, and I didn't know the case very well, but what I'm getting out of this is that it sounds like the policeman was well within his rights to ask him to get out of the car, and it sounds like the policeman was absolutely not within his rights to punch him, period, and that was clearly a case of targeting, and it sounds like he's going to pay for that. That's what it sounds like to me.
My friend wants to say something real quick. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. So, a couple people ago, the lady was real upset. I don't know her name, but it was several F-bombs dropped in what she was saying, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's exactly what happens with the police. Something happens that you don't like, and you have an emotional response to it. You can't think clearly if you're thinking emotionally as well. Because, it's F this, F that, F this. It's too emotional. And your brain shuts down. You can't absorb the information being presented. I never once said that the police were right. They were right up until the point the punch landed. Breaking the window, that's fine. Break the window. Get out of the car. That's from the United States Supreme Court. And it's an officer safety thing. When I do a traffic stop, I don't walk up to a vehicle because I'm walking into an ambush. I stand in the door of my vehicle with my gun unlatched, ready to go if I need it, and order the person out. They come out, their hands empty, my latch goes up on my gun, and then we deal with the traffic stop. But the issue is people want to fight the crime, they want to have court on the side of the road, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Why would, just look at what happened in the video. Why would there be so many officers responding to a traffic stop? I'm lucky if I get 2 with me. There are several officers that responded.
Come to Florida.
What?
She said come to Florida.
Well, and look how dangerous Florida is. So officer safety is paramount. That's the first thing that's taught in police academy. Officer safety is paramount. I guarantee you, you look at the news today, and which I'll say this too, a lot of y'all got information from the news. Y'all some fools if y'all believe it. Because the news is designed to sway your opinion. And it's clearly working listening to this conversation. But If I see something, man does drugs and chews his girlfriend's face off, 85% chance that's in Florida, right? Nobody can tell me I'm lying.
I would say Texas.
Every crazy crime that we have, all the headline news comes from Florida. Florida is dangerous. We all know this. Look at Miami.
That's because you followed the media, actually. That's because you followed the media. That's because you followed the media.
I follow the media.
The fact you say it's Florida is because you
Don't say Texas, shit. Yeah, it's Florida or Texas. I'm definitely Indiana. Yeah, no, our state, I mean, we got problems.
Everybody lives in a perfect state now. This shit is crazy.
Y'all niggas get on my nerves with Florida and fucking Texas.
Come on. Let me not, don't make me putting up lines in Texas. Come on. Don't do that. Come on.
Can we?
It's fucking bad neighborhoods and good neighborhoods and crime rate.
Everywhere.
Wait, real quick, y'all. Does Fred or Drew have something that they want to say?
April does.
Fred, you keep. Oh.
I don't think they got nothing to say. They just wanted to say something after him.
Well, I wasn't even finished.
He wasn't done submitting. Y'all literally jumped on Miss Mission.
Is trying to talk now. What's going on?
Oh, hold up. No. He was Miss Mission when he got cut off. He was. Two people came off the mic while he was still talking.
Okay, go ahead. Whoever was still.
So I was told with the comment that is because I follow the media and a perfect state. I live in South Louisiana. Like, I'm a short drive away from New Orleans. I'm 30 minutes away from Baton Rouge, Shreveport. I don't live in a perfect state. But there's places where violence is way higher. And there's places where people aren't afraid to shoot at the police. All this stuff. There's an officer that just got killed here not that long ago. So I get it. And the thing is, the problem, people judge, but they don't do a damn thing to make a difference. If like the lady dropping all the F-bombs and the cops did this, the cops did that, go sign up. Go sign up. I guarantee you they're taking applications right now. Go do the job the right way. But that's not going to happen because we could throw the stones, but we don't realize we're doing it in glass houses. Go make a difference instead of just talking about it. Because to me is very dumb. If I'm gonna sit there and judge McDonald's, okay, I could probably make a better hamburger than McDonald's. Let me open my own place. It's that easy. Like I said, there's police officer job openings in every city in the United States. Sign up and do it right. Maybe some people can't sign up because of the decisions they made prior in life. Fine, that's for you to deal with. But you can also get a gold seal expungement and get a pardon and then go sign up and do it the correct way. Because sitting down talking and getting emotional, cursing and all that, it solves nothing. It solves nothing at all. The basis of a conversation is to exchange and accept information. Period. That's all it is. Getting emotional about it, like you don't have the facts. You only know what's told.
You're talking about me. I was
Katrina, please. Katrina, he ain't even talking about you. Mic down. Come on. What's wrong with y'all tonight?
But, ma'am, the lady that just asked what's wrong with y'all tonight, it's what's wrong with the world right now. Like, just look at it. It's happening in this conversation just on a smaller scale than it's happening across the entire world. And that's the problem.
So let me say this. So, one, it's reasonable for anybody to get emotional about this subject, the amount of young men that have died from it. So I think it's saying that that's not reasonable is a problem in itself. I had 2 cousins die from police officers murdering them.
I had a nephew shot by the police officers.
I didn't talk when you was talking. I didn't talk when you was talking, bro. Come on, hold up. Slow down. I didn't talk when you was talking. And on top of that...
You want to talk? You keep telling me you didn't talk when I was talking, so talk.
You was done talking. What are you talking about? Just slow down, bro. Why are you panicking? Just let me finish talking. So saying that people shouldn't get emotional is problematic in itself. I think looking at the fact that we should be looking at this as one of the biggest problems that are going on, and it's happening in our community because we should feel safe from police officers, from law enforcement. And this is coming from somebody whose dad was in law enforcement. And my dad was the one who told me about the problems that are in the police force, the problems that are in law enforcement across the board. So that's the first step. The second step, though, is there has to be a point where we really look at it and we go, okay, hold on. the issue, we can look at and dissect the issues step by step, but the bottom line is, in cases, by numbers, if that person was white, even if he did the exact same thing as this black man did, he doesn't end up in the same situation. And when we back away from that part, that's where I get confused and go, why aren't we focusing on the biggest problem, the fact that there are major setbacks that are put in place for getting good police officers, in getting a higher percentage of good police officers. And let me give you an example. Bay Area, and they just changed this, for the Alameda Sheriff's Department, they didn't even allow you to live in the county. So that means that the county where it's mostly black, where there is a larger amount of black people, you're taking officers from outside of that county because they felt more comfortable with that. That creates a problem in itself because you have people that are outside the community, just want to make the money, and that are afraid, for example.
The sheriff's office?
It was the Alameda.
That's where it was a sheriff's office?
Correct, Alameda.
Okay, you know a sheriff is elected, right? And the sheriff is who makes the policies.
Not the sheriff, the Alameda officers, sheriff officers.
Yeah.
So the sheriff
was the sheriff. He was elected, and he got unelected, or he lost. Because he was terrible.
So that's what I'm saying.
That doesn't make it okay. That's the kind of answer, respectfully, that makes people really frustrated with a lot of cops. Because it seems like I believe there are good cops. I believe there are lots of good cops. I believe those good cops are way too silent when it comes to the bad cops. And it makes a lot of cops look bad. Because this kind of stuff goes down all the time. I can't speak to wherever you are. You didn't say exactly where it is. I don't know where it is anyway. That part of the country I don't know well. But I can tell you, where I live in the Bay Area, Vallejo PD has gotten away with literally murder multiple times in the last 10 years. There was a guy who shot and killed 3 people in 18 months. And then they let him take early retirement, take a whole bunch of money, and then they hired him back at some crazy rate to be their use of force instructor. Right? I put a link in the chat earlier about a police officer who was basically blowing the whistle on Vallejo PD because of all the stuff that you saw. And that article's a month old. And so part of what I find frustrating in this conversation is there just need to be more good cops who are I'm not going to let the profession be tarnished by these bad cops, and to draw a line in the sand and do something about it.
Your Honor, that's a good point. And Joe, let me ask you this. So why do you think there are a lot of officers that won't call out the bullshit when the bullshit is out there? Why do you think that is?
Retaliation. 100% retaliation.
It's the blue line.
That's exactly what that officer, the whistleblower I just mentioned, said.
Yeah, you see a lot of officers do it after they retire and everything, but acting on the job is retaliation.
What kind of retaliation could they face for? Let me ask. What kind of retaliation could they face for speaking up?
I got you on that one. I can tell you about that. As a lawyer, I've seen some professional retaliation, labeling them as snitches. They've been denied promotions. They've seen their careers stagnate, and also personal risk as well as physical retaliation as well in locker rooms. And then and I've had cases where I had to deal with that.
They got family members too. Don't forget.
Hey, so this is my thing. I hear what this officer just said. So if that's the way it is, why the hell are officers continue to be off? I guess, all right, let me be sensitive when I ask that question. I know people, they have careers, they're making a living. But if that's the way this shit goes down, why the hell are officers just walking away from this shit?
Some of them do, but many of them don't involve in. I am not an officer, by the way. I'm a lawyer, but officers, I've talked to some of them. But many do walk away. I don't think you know about it, but many people in the police force. Some don't for simple reasons. One, they don't see it a lot. These are rare cases, they say. We see it a lot because of media, right? And I just moved to New York, so when I look at the numbers here in New York, are there is it per capita? Police are going around, doing this violence? No, right? Not anywhere really, right? But it shouldn't happen at all. right? But there's no mass.
Yeah, because it sounds
happening like.
And I know it's been that way. I mean, but shit. I mean, and I know we all know this, but shit, it sounds like you joined a damn gang, joining the police force.
You are joining a gang by definition. You would be, right?
Yeah.
The same.
Well,
things that
I mean like a
gangs.
literal street gang.
JD, I don't know if you know this, but in LA,
it's a legal one.
In LA,
go ahead.
In LA, they documented, I think, somewhere around 23 gang gangs,
Bay Area too,
inside of the LA Police Department.
Yeah.
And they were identifying themselves by tattoos. They were getting tattoos for bodies they caught. I mean, everything that a gang does, they were doing that shit. Let me not say was. They're doing that shit.
Doing
That's a fact.
kickbacks
You can look
for
that up.
like clubs, like who gets the because they get paid for outside security, things like that. They made sure their gang got that club. It's some scary shit. They had to make a rule that you can't be in a police gang.
Can I just?
It's really
Okay.
I'm going to be super quick. Thank you, Katrina. I'll be really quick. And it's also, to JD, to answer your question, it is also a mentality of, and this is no disrespect to Gemini's friend, it's just the reality. I've experienced a police academy and have worked in that field, and there is a mentality that is, who else is going to take a bullet for a stranger? Who else is going to run into a bank robbery to save innocent citizens, right? Who else is putting what are their jobs? Obviously fire, first responders, but not the same. So I think that for those cops that validate in their head to make them sleep at night, for whether it's embezzling or the Vallejo example that Your Honor brought up, we are the front line. We are the ones. There's no one else out here that's willing to take a bullet for a stranger. Thanks, Katrina.
Yeah, that's the thing. And Gemini, your friend, I did address him earlier, and I asked him if he agreed with both of my statements in regards to police officers actually not getting the justice. There's no criminal justice, and it's very rare when it is, right? Criminal justice.
They have an answer for it. My attention span can't handle it.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I'll answer the first part. Yes, there are. There's criminal, so that simple battery, but also doing it as a public official is malfeasance in office. And then if he gets fired, he loses his pension.
Yeah, but he just goes to another state and he has that job in another state. Listen, my husband works for
Let her finish.
He just finished. Let me finish. Hold on. So first of all, we know that police officers. I mean, come on, you have to agree with me that the police officers who are doing a really bad job get away with it. They have a civil suit, and the taxpayer are paying for that civil suit, but the police officer doesn't get the correct punishment as he should. I think that if I don't know, a doctor, right, who performs a surgery, and because of their actions, they end up killing you, and they didn't follow the instructions, then that doctor can go to jail for manslaughter. I think the police should be held to that degree. I don't understand why in this country our police is not held to the same degree. And the fact that we just say, oh, go sue them, like we were talking earlier, oh, just comply, and then just go and sue them. We know that actually doesn't take the bad cops off the job. A lot of times they just either gets put on administrative leave or desk jobs or something like that. And they can just easily go to a different state and work in a different state. So it's just, would you agree with me that there should be a harder punishment?
Well, I think everyone does it.
Actually.
Can I answer, please? Google this name, Derek. Derek. Chauvin. Chauvin. It's a French last name. People call it Chauvin.
You know who he is.
No, I know. I watched the trial.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why people always say like the police don't get a punishment. All right, the guy that punched somebody, the guy on the traffic stop today. What do you think is a fair punishment for him?
I'm talking about, sir. I'm talking about police officers.
No, I'm asking you a specific question. The guy that just punched somebody in the face on the traffic stop. What do you think is a fair punishment for him?
he should go through the same legal process as everyone else who punches someone in the face.
It's an assault and battery.
That's what should happen.
That's what it is. And
all right, and what's the consequence for a battery?
Hold on. And then I wasn't talking.
You're skipping steps.
And then he can't have a job because he already basically had the record. But on top of that, all I'm saying is that I wasn't even talking about this particular situation with, I think people are just very upset, and this is so triggering because I personally, like I brought up to you before, I've seen, and I know those cases and I follow them very closely, where police officers wrongfully do body harm, break legs, ankles, or...
Katrina, you're saying the same thing again. Give a direct hold up, Katrina, give me a direct answer, right? Hold up, Katrina. What do you think should happen to the police officer that punched the guy? Just give a direct answer. He gave you a direct answer.
I did. I already did. I said he should be charged with assault and battery.
Okay.
All right, so what do you think the consequence for that?
What should the consequences for assault and battery be then?
But that's not her job. That's a lawyer's job. That's not her job to say that.
It's a conversation. And I wasn't talking about a lawyer.
She knows the code.
It's not her job. I don't know
the same for everybody else. I mean, I'm sorry. If a cop kills somebody and they did it, and it should not have fucking immunity. I'm sorry. If you particularly
the cops have immunity for killing someone.
How many of them have actually gone to prison? I'm sorry. I follow cases. I'm telling you this. I follow cases where cops actually did something to special needs children, an autistic teenager. They shot him and killed him because, as they say, he was being combative.
Assault and battery in Florida is a misdemeanor.
And he didn't comply. And he didn't comply
it's a misdemeanor everywhere.
He was autistic and he couldn't even speak. And they shot him to death. I think those officers, well, all of them, need to go to fucking jail for murder. But no, they're not in jail. Because, somehow it got justified.
Katrina, I actually agree with you, but I would take it a step further, right? Because what was just said, right, is he should be charged with assault and battery, right? I want you to think about this. Assault and battery is a misdemeanor. Misdemeanor means not much, right? Not what's going to happen. There won't be much legal repercussions. I think if you're a police officer and you commit assault and battery, you should be held to a higher standard because you're in a position of power. You're not a civilian. You see what I'm saying? Well, so I actually take it a step further than you. I'm actually agreeing with you. You just don't realize it, but I'm taking it a step further. I'm saying because of their position, the power dynamics in that situation, that's not a normal battery, because normally if somebody assaults you, you're going to respond, but that badge is going to restrict us from responding, right? If a police officer punches you, you're not going to be as quick to respond with the same violence or reciprocate that force, because you know that punching a police officer is a felony. That's not a regular misdemeanor like punching a civilian. So I think it should go the opposite way as well. If they punch on us or assault us while utilizing the badge or hiding behind the badge, it shouldn't be a regular assault and battery. It should be something more.
Assault and battery can't be felony. It's an aggregated battery.
I could agree with you, but I was just saying at least treat them the same as us. Like, let's start at least there, right? That if a cop kills an autistic child and he, literally for no fucking reason, but then he justifies it and says, I did it because he wasn't complying to my orders and he wasn't talking to me and he was acting like he was high on drugs, that cop should fucking go to jail. It's a murderer. So not fucking get dismissed and then not just working in the police department.
So Katrina and everybody on stage, I think that we all agree with you. This is you're arguing the basis of the entire Black Lives Matter movement, which was a movement and a relatively successful one. That's why we had the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. It didn't pass.
I know.
Like going after one second. Okay, me too. So going after the police in this way is very important. But I want to stress this. Some of my clients are the mothers of people who have gotten killed by police. And while I definitely do not agree with you should die if you don't comply, at the end of the day, we need to teach our children, and I'm not talking about people with disabilities because obviously that is a separate category. But in terms of the example that we're using in this discussion, this man in Jacksonville, we need to teach our sons and daughters, especially if they're Black, that it is better to come home. And I love what Dragon said. And I'm going to fight your ass in court. I'm going to beat your ass in court. Right? Like, I look forward to this battle in court, because all of these mothers that are out here, their lives are shattered because they lost their sons primarily, and they're never going to get them back. And so all of this tough talk and all of this, fuck that, like even Pope Pimpin, I was saying in the chat, like, are you just ready to have all out war? Because you talking about, having your gun and stuff like that. And I'm like, why does it have to necessarily be like that? So that's just like number three, really, because we are fighting. Two, because of Black Lives Matter, not in every state, the cops get to just keep doing the same thing in every state. Laws have changed in some states. Now, a lot of police, their records go with them. They cannot just get another job and pretend like nothing happened. That has changed in a lot of different states. And again, these people who have, like, y'all just can't be so casual. Like, I'm a little frustrated because the criticism around the language of comply, this is to save lives, and specifically like the Black and brown people who are targeted and are racial profiled. Even this dude, he was probably racially profiled. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, fucking comply. Like, you need to be alive so that you can fight another day. Like, at the end of the day. And then the other thing is that we are now in the Trump administration. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, it was not passed. We still have qualified immunity, and then you have this idiot Trump in office saying, not only do I support qualified immunity, I want to take it further. I want the police to have 100% immunity. That came directly out of Donald Trump's mouth. So now we're in further danger. And I'm just saying, as a person, as a Black person in this community, and as somebody who is around a lot of these people that are suffering and they're in never-ending pain. Their child is never coming back. Like, we gotta teach better. So yeah, and the last thing is, again, I'm gonna stand by this because I said it earlier. I see Black men on YouTube. They're teaching how to properly interact with police. And they definitely say, like, stand up for yourself, but also to comply, right? And then I think, just from what I've seen, I haven't done a scientific analysis, but I've seen way more of these Moorish videos trying to tell you that you don't have to comply with the government, that you are sovereign, you don't have to, you're not a citizen that needs to comply. I've seen that shit over and over again. And this particular guy, he screams a part of that. And that's what's like, I'm real frustrated about it, because it's just that bullshit that I can't tolerate it, especially now with Trump and his bullshit. I land.
Dr. Goddess, I agree with you 1,000%. And I want to say the thing in that video that stuck out to me was after he got slapped in the face, I saw his face. He sat there. He had to swallow that whole, right? He was like, I saw that. And I know. I don't want, that alone really pissed me off before the other stuff even went down. And I will always, as a husband, we will always teach our sons what to do so that you come back home. Because if you don't come back home, I'm going to have a serious problem. I need them alive.
Shanice, are you going to speak?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say and implore Katrina, I get the advocacy and your point about what happens when, like, nonverbal or autistic people are put in these situations, but I think that it kind of clouds the processing of this moment and this situation. And I'm saying that as someone whose brother is bipolar and has manic episodes if he's not managing his meds, because to an untrained officer, that if he's in a manic episode, they can't tell if he has a mental illness, if he's nonverbal autistic, or if he's on drugs. So when you say you want the police officers to have the harsh penalties for what they're doing to someone who's autistic, I just want you to think about it. Like, I'm not advocating for cops getting less punishment, especially if they're doing something that escalated and it's egregious or it ends in death. But to just think about it, when you were saying it, I'm thinking about how there needs to be training on both sides. We need to train our Black boys and our Black men how to come home safely and fight it through litigation. But we also need training on the police side. And in split seconds, when they're doing these traffic stops, you almost have to be psychic to know the difference between someone that is nonverbal or autistic versus someone having a manic episode versus someone that's just on drugs. So I just want to leave that there.
Can I respond real quick? Just 30 seconds, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. Janice, I work very closely with our police department in my town. We actually make sure that they come to the therapy centers and they meet the kids, and I come there every single year. I personally, other people have organized a program where autistic children in our neighborhood and that police department come to the police. They have a whole little routine. They get to play with the search and rescue dog so that the cops know who are the autistic children in this neighborhood, and adults as well, especially the ones. And I am talking about particularly Black boys, because they get targeted a lot more than white boys. And the thing is that cops aren't trained. There are some cops that are trained. And to think, just because they're trained, then they're not going to do something. I'm sorry, our cops are trained not to have racial profiling. Our cops are trained to be, to have justice and do things by law. It doesn't mean they're going to follow it. And in my world, as I do have a child on the spectrum, I really keep track of all of those cases. And majority of the times, it's not the white boys. So that is even all. I'm just saying, like, we were just diluting the situation, dissecting the situation in particular. Is the guy wrong, not wrong? And I'm just saying, hey, listen, why are we even sitting here talking about, is this guy right or wrong? Because we know that police officers do stuff that's wrong. Why, like that, it doesn't matter at this point. They're still gonna do what's wrong. Trained, not trained. We do have some of those police officers. And there's no way right now to get them out. And that's a problem.
Can I get in the queue, please?
Yeah, me too.
Just go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to wait until all of the body cam is released. There was one that was released. But I read the transcript from the press. They had it in today. The state's attorney stated that the officers didn't do anything criminally wrong, but they just opened up an administrative investigation. I read that report, and they said originally he was charged with not wearing a seatbelt, and then that charge was dismissed. Am I going to believe my lying eyes or the police officer? Because I could have sworn I saw the police officer take him out, unlock the seatbelt during that video. I don't believe anything until I see all of the information. In addition to that, I find it weird that the young man did not file charges at all. In fact, he pled guilty. So if he had any type of more or any of that, I would have think that he would have given a definitive defense, pled not guilty, and lawyered up right away. He sounds like he doesn't really know his rights. because this lawsuit seems to be just recently filed, and this case happened in February. Land.
Yeah, I didn't see where he pled guilty. I know he was found guilty for resisting officer without violence and driving.
He served 2 days in jail. I just read it. He served 2 days.
February
in
20.
jail.
I was just reading about
February 23, he pled guilty to
5 months
driving
ago.
on a suspended license and resisting without violence.
Okay, I didn't read it.
It appeared as if he didn't lawyer up until. Yeah, it appeared as if he didn't.
Well, he was guilty, so he was supposed to file. What are we talking about right now?
I'm gonna make it real sure. Let me put this.
There was proof that his license was suspended.
What's going on?
Yeah, you know how much people plead not guilty and try to get a deal or whatever?
It's like everybody is paying to get off the market.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it appears as if he just lawyered up. This occurred February 19th or February 16th or something, 5 months ago. And this is just hidden with attorneys. And what I'm saying is, in the original report, they said he was charged with not a seatbelt, and that charge was later dropped. And I'm asking you, who to believe, your lying eyes or the cops? Because did we not see them unlock the seatbelt off him?
Yeah, we did.
But why was it dropped?
That wasn't my point.
Why was it dropped, Levon?
Because they probably lied. That's why.
No.
So I'm not saying the whole case. I'm not saying the whole case. I'm talking specifically about the seatbelt. That's all.
Right, but I mean, in law, things are dropped for multiple reasons. I don't think we should assume that. Like, I've had cases where you drop something just as a plea bargain. I mean, there's so many reasons behind something. There's sometimes the state even decides to drop it on their own, right, without reason, because they may think they don't have enough evidence, or they don't want to spend the money to do it. There's multiple reasons, so I don't want to assume about that.
Okay, but did we not see them? Did we not see them take him up?
I just want to land. Yeah.
But did we not see him?
We saw it.
Okay,
But like you said, we don't have the whole video.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. But to your point, we didn't see the whole video. There's many times people put on. I'm not saying he did this, but there's multiple times people put on seatbelts when they start recording. So that's not the here or there.
But I've also said I want to wait and see.
Let me just finish. I don't want to keep going around that. I don't want to go around that. It's more about the conversation Dr. Guys was having too, because as I'm now 48, I spent a lot of time in law and teaching education and psychology, right? So part of my fight in Chicago and New York has been about this balance between compliance, right? But also the ability for us to exercise our rights, right? But I agree, based on data, I have to agree with Dr. Goddess because people are dying over this thing, right? So I agree on its surface, right, that we need to be teaching, all of us need to be learning. I mean, regardless of, because this is like state endorsed violence to me, because of the laws, both federally and state, that protect these officers, who many of them, like we've heard earlier, have ganged up. Like, if you think about just the criminal definition of a gang, now the law does a good job of saying criminal gang, because a gang could be a fraternity or a sorority, right? The key difference is that you have to have 3 or more people, right? And you have to be involved in some criminal activity. By definition and by case law, we see police, right, in 3 or more, right, come together and collude, and they commit actual crimes, right? So it's not far-fetched to call police a gang. I add that to the fact that my like experience has been that certain people can't engage in their rights, right? So when I see police, violate First, Fourth, Fifth, amendment rights of people, I get upset. But Dr. Goss is correct. You can challenge that, right? Many times it isn't hard to get that stuff handled if you have video, but there's times when we don't have video, right? So in my experience, I believe, and no proof, that there's more evidence of police, causing more harm and breaking rights than the drivers. The drivers are the people who in my experience, don't know the law. The police are the ones who are trained, and not in conviction of law, right, but in suspicion of breaking of the law. What I see often is a suspicion, right? I see a charge, and I see an execution all during a police stop. That is not legal whatsoever, right? So I'm saying that we have to figure out this balance between how do we protect our young men who mostly, and now in Chicago especially, increase in young black women, but how we protect our kids and our teenagers and young adults, and even adults, all of us, right, from gang activity, right, while within the law, right, but at the same time trying to figure out how to get home at the same time, right? So I'm looking for more solutions around, for me, my only success in cases like this and my friends' cases like this, other lawyers, is we have video, right? Sometimes we have sound, we have audio, we have all these things that we have. So part of my training for young people is to, especially if you have an iPhone, if you have one of those Androids, I don't know how they work, but we can set up alerts. Like when I get pulled over, I just simply say to my phone, hey, I've been pulled over. It starts a video, it texts a bunch of people, lets people know what's going on, where I am, what's happening. Like those things like that help someone like me on the legal side protect you when you bring it to court. And I'll just land there.
That was good, Corey.
But I want to say I'm highly upset about people in these comments who keep saying things like, he should just comply. I agree with you, but when I hear he should just comply, that sounds like something the police are doing correct, right? And we need, I'm gonna stop talking because Dr. G is still correct, but I'm trying my best to fight police violence. It's hard when people don't recognize what police are doing wrong and want to just point to the victims. Or not just victims, even criminals. Criminals have rights too in this country. That's hard for us to agree with, right? Even murderers get rights. I know we, in this world of Trump, where like he wants only, like if you're an immigrant, you don't have rights. He's wrong. The Constitution says anyone in this land has rights, or certain rights. So I'm just trying to figure out how we can understand that black people have rights too, and we can exercise them. We can actually use them, but Dr. G is still correct. You got to get your ass home.
I get that.
I'd like this. Oh, go ahead.
I get that. That was what I was saying earlier about the conversations about this comply are very bothering to me, because at the end of the day, it's like even if you comply, you still run into the chance of rogue cops. And I'm not saying it's every cop, so let me be clear. But there are rogue cops, and we do have a broken police system. You know, I remember in doing criminal justice, one of the things that they talked about was the broken window theory. And, you know, if the cop sees a broken window, he automatically goes and he checks to see what's going on, and then he checks to see what's going on. And we forgot about community policing in the process. It's like we don't figure out who's in the community. Half of the people or police officers don't even live in the communities that police. So we're over-policed on some level. And a lot of times we run into these situations where we're constantly telling our kids, comply, do what you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying in all instances, because there are some situations that are problematic. But again, we got to stop thinking that it's okay to keep saying comply, and we allow police officers to beat the crap out of especially black men, young black men, older black men, our children. They are killing us. It is problematic.
Rez, can you just give me an example though? Salon, I'm gonna let you go. Let me just ask this and then it's on Salon. Rez, if you could just answer, because I get the whole thing. I think we're exaggerating when people are saying comply. I think you guys are exaggerating what people are trying to say when we're telling our young men to comply. You guys are making it seem like we're saying ignore your rights, just comply, shut up and bow down to. I don't think that's fair for y'all to be doing that. So when you're saying that we shouldn't just be saying comply, give me a situation you get pulled over where you wouldn't comply.
But I gave you that situation earlier, and I told you it happened to me. And I was very clear with you that hold on. You asked me the question, I'm going to answer you, JD. You asked me the question, I'm going to answer you. You said to me about this complying conversation I gave you my actual situation that happened to me, that I complied the entire time. I'm being called a nigger the entire time. And I'm literally saying nothing to this police officer. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? I've given him my daggone
Right. So I'm not cutting you off. I remember your story. So my question is, why did you comply? Why didn't you just not comply?
Why would I not comply?
Because that's what you're up here talking. I mean, maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Sis, you ain't gonna be talking loud with him. That's a man. Go ahead and talk to him.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
That's not what I'm saying, JD. I'm saying to you that we keep using the word comply, and we're acting as though that the flip side to that is not that there aren't people that comply and still have problems. What I've discussed earlier, which is what I said, was that we need to look at the laws and changing qualified immunity and putting ourselves in a position where you don't have police officers that are jumping from one place to the other. You have these terrible police officers that have had all kind of internal investigations done on them. They've been found guilty of all kinds of rogue shit, and they jump from one police police place to the other. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they're still doing the same shit.
No, I get what you're saying, but I just don't think comply when people, at least in this context, in this room, are saying comply, that they're saying don't do nothing. I mean, I don't. Go ahead.
Well, let me add some legal. Let me just a couple
Nowadays,
legal.
walking around just being black is a crime to some people.
Wait a minute.
Right. And you guys left the back door open. I told you guys to close the back door open at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. You guys gotta close the back door. Put a wood. Come on.
I'm always welcome in Lisa's space.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
So, real quick on this compliance. I'll be short.
Mute up.
Native American, okay?
Aurora, you're interrupting the stage.
So this is a couple examples of compliance that leads to some additional charges that I don't think that means we don't get to apply Fourth Amendment rights, right? So just to be clear, in Florida, right? Because this is where this took place, right? I looked up their laws, right? Because I'm not based in Florida, right? But my parents live there. So when I look at Florida, right? When he was asked about his car, and I think a gentleman mentioned it before about the Supreme Court case. I think it was Pennsylvania Mims he brought up, and then there was an additional one in '97 with Wilson in Maryland, right? Florida though has some additional rules about him stepping out of his car, which is why I think they're going to challenge some of these things. He definitely was guilty of the suspended license, right? But here's the point. When a cop pulls you over, it must be a lawful stop, right? Anything, if it's not a lawful stop, anything after that can be thrown out, right? So that's why cops want to be clear. Right? And me, if I was a prosecutor or a supervisor, please make more lawful stops, right? And I want to add on that there are quotas that cops have, right? There used to be a 20 and 1, 20 tickets, 1 arrest that cops were given in LA and New York to do, right? So I want to be clear about this compliance piece, right? When you comply to a cop, right? When he says something like, hey, can I search your car? And you comply with a yes, right? You're not offering him to find other things that he can arrest you for, right? Things that you may not have know were illegal, right? Now,
Corey, dialogue with me. Them asking you a question, can I search your car? You have the option to say yes or no, versus them saying, hey, get out of the car. That's when I think when people talk about compliance.
Well, the rule, by the way.
Giving you a command.
Exactly, JD.
Thank you, JD.
Exactly, JD.
But somebody asking you, can I search your car? Well, of course I'm going to say no. That's not you complying. Me saying no would not make me not compliant. I have the right to say no. So that doesn't mean
you comply.
To be clear, cops in most manuals it says, can you step out of the car? Cops can do cops command all they want, right? Right. But in legal terms, right, you ask people to do things, right? Even with all right. So for example,
but Corey, if you're
let me finish my sentence. Let me finish my sentence so you get my point. Let me just finish to get my point. If a cop sees you commit a crime, he's allowed to give commands. Right? There's no longer suspicion, right? You have it. Even in some court cases, right? And the Supreme Court agrees with this. If there is reasonable suspicion, right? Something that any reasonable person, like anyone on this stage, not all of us,
suspicion.
Right. If you can reasonably articulate the right? Suspicion or the crime that's been committed by you can actually give commands, right? So you should maybe read police manuals, right? Now, a lot of times you have to ask. Even we have to ask for some things that we're not sure about, like, am I free to go, right? Because I'm being detained or I'm being arrested. Like, there's rules to all these things, right? I'm only saying skirting the rules,
yeah,
right?
I don't disagree.
You're in more trouble.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. It's just like I said, when people are saying comply in the context that I was hearing it in this room was the way people wanted their children to behave. And but I get you. I don't disagree. But I'm gonna let Sloan have it. Sloan, it's on you, Sloan.
Yeah, that's okay. We went past the point. It's fine. Thanks.
No, JD, you said it perfectly. When somebody is telling you what to do, that's when you comply. When they're asking you a question, you are complying when you answer the question. You're not refusing to answer the question. You're answering the question. So that's still a form of compliance. But I think one of the things you need to understand is your rights, right? When they're asking you, can I search your car? My answer is going to be no, you cannot search my car. That's it. I'm complying in that point, right? I'm staying within my boundaries of the law. So the more that you understand the law, the better off you will be. And if you are writing dirty, and if nobody knows what writing dirty means, writing dirty is suspended license and some motherfucking dope in your pocket, right, nigga? When you sliding like that, that's when you fucking comply. The fuck?
If you come home from a party and you had one drink, right, and some people's blood levels can go above the legal limit, right? So let's be clear, we all write dirty sometimes. Let's not make it these extreme crimes.
I don't. Speak for yourself. I don't write dirty. You wrong.
I'm not saying well, me either. I'm not. Let's
just say we all.
Not me. Come on. We all is a general term, meaning I'm not pointing to anyone in particular, but people do these things where they can be in trouble. The law is to protect all of us, not just police officers too, right? So cops have to follow certain rules to get to that point. You are wrong. I'm not saying you're not wrong. You're definitely wrong for driving drunk or above the law, the legal limit of the law. I'm not saying you're wrong about that, right? But the laws are also made to protect you in cases where police can do overreach. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. But you're absolutely right.
But the law also allows for you to use violence. I think
when the people are pressing on comply, it's just that you can't ridicule that with, like, people don't want to stand up for their rights. That's all I'm saying. I mean, the context of the room was very clear on the people that were talking about comply. The context was very clear, but then it was purposely ridiculed, like, you don't want to stand up for your rights. I mean, come on. That was right. The point.
Exactly.
I'm the officer. I'll pull you over. Ready?
I just have the right to be silent.
Can you step out of your car?
Why are you asking me to step out of my car?
All right. Well, wait. I asked you. Okay, now it's my turn. Get out the car.
Is that a lawful order and why?
Get out of the car. Because remember, that guy was asking questions too. Get out of the car. I'll tell you.
Is that a lawful order?
I'll tell you when you get out of the car.
Okay, I'm getting that.
Well, call your cars. I don't have to get out the car.
And he said that too. He said that too. Get out of the car.
Yeah, but that was his.
Sorry, now command has been given, and now
I'm going to comply with that command, but I'm gonna definitely object. Like, this isn't legal. I'm already going to be. I'm at my phone reading or running at that time. I'm going to be recording, and I'm stepping out of the car.
I'm with you when I'm with you. I mean, in that case, I agree with you. I'm with you when I'm with you.
You can also remain quiet and be, sometimes, at least here where I live in Texas, I'm trying to make it home. My grandmother always taught me, just here recently, there was a guy that had his hands up, and they shot at him. He complied, still got shot, right? My folks said always do the best to make it home, especially in a state like this one. You can comply, and officers still act some kind of way. The best way is certainly, be silent if you can, because you don't have to say nothing. You know what I mean? You can, just sit there and not do anything. But, at the end of the day, there are people who have done that. You have the right to remain silent. And anything that is used against you, right, that can be held up in court, right? So those are things that I certainly, understand. When I'm driving and all that stuff, I also keep, current laws and stuff dealing with driving in the glove compartment. So I know, okay, this needs to be current. Same with gun laws. Hey, man, that's on the back of my door. Every year that laws are updated, I try to stay current to the best of my ability. If I'm operating a vehicle and if I'm operating a weapon, what is the laws in compliance for me to have these items? So I make sure that I am doing the best that I can to be in compliance when I'm using that item or a car or whatever. And including my person, I try to do the best that I can. And, I got, pulled over by the police. So a friend of mine that was driving, I said, don't yell, don't do all that other kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because some people do. They have, you may have an attitude or whatever. They didn't. They, essentially told us that something wasn't working, a light on our car, and they told us, hey, you got to, get this done. They gave us a warning ticket and let us go. But what if we both would have had an attitude or whatever? We would not work out for us. So I do try to be, the best that I can. And so far, I haven't had any issues with the police or anything like that or any of that. Because I also keep those laws in my hand at all times, man. I don't care where I'm at. I try to keep that in the glove compartment or just keep that small book in my backpack. Yes, sir. That's the way I do it. That way I know that I'm in compliance with laws that I try to follow to the best of my ability. Am I saying everybody should carry a small little book that has laws in it? No, but at least you can maybe study some of it and understand what laws are applicable in your state. It's helped me out so much. And of course, I work with the police and stuff here to put together events, rallies to make sure people are safe. So everything I do have to make sure it is in compliance with the law because I'm responsible for people's safety. So yeah, I got to work with the police.
I think the issue.
So is Lisa? Okay, I just want to get in queue after you with Katrina.
No, you go first. Yeah, go first. It's Katrina and so a lot.
Okay, so the one thing that I think is missing in this conversation, right? I hear the fact that we're saying this is what we should do. We should take on responsibilities. The cops need to hear their stuff. The one thing I'm not hearing, and this is irritating, is if we do decide that we want to teach our youth, how the fuck are we going to do it, and when are we going to fucking do it? We're going to talk our asses off tonight, all the different permutations of what we can do. But at the end of the day, where are we going to say, hey, kid, you need to learn about the law before you go to this PWI. You need to know about the law before you go to this high school. Where are we going to do it? And I have some suggestions, and I'm going to be really quick. One, black alumni associations in colleges should be teaching this shit to incoming freshmen because the shit gets wild in fucking colleges. Secondly, if there's a mentoring program, out of all the sections that you need to have one that focuses on law and how to make sure you can get taught to make sure you don't freak out when this shit's happening. Secondly, we got organizations like 100 Black Men. You got there's like a Sigmas. Is it the Sigmas or the Alphas? The purple ones. I forgot. They do leadership conferences with young Black men all the fucking time. When are we going to start implementing this shit inside of our institutions, maybe even at a church? My sons are in Boy Scouts. I'm looking at a fucking merit badge that's literally about law and crime prevention. They're already fucking doing this shit in this Boy Scout predominantly white organization and giving them awards to learn the fucking law. Let me read to you 3 things. Okay? 1, Requirement 2, Part C. 2 famous trials in history. That'd be nice if we could learn about our shit. Number 5, tell about several laws and where they were passed to protect consumers and sellers. How about this? Laws that protect passengers and drivers. That would be great. Number 6, Part A. Attend a session of a civil or criminal court. Write a 200-word essay about what you saw. That would be great if we could take these kids and say, hey, what? This is what's going to fucking happen. This is why you need to do shit. If they can't attend, record a video. There's plenty of crime TV. Let's be specific. 6B, plan to conduct a mock trial. If we can have mentors, mock trial shit out. So if you encounter, you can do that. Last one. This is not uncommon. Civil rights movement did it when they had their freedom riders. They prepared their people to interact with people on buses and on counters. The Black Panthers were teaching people about laws. We can do it. We've done it before. We need to do it now.
So we do that. We do that at our church, the school. We've partnered with the school districts in Dallas and Fort Worth to stop the violence. We do that through car shows, food drives. We've given away TVs, paid for college, so on and so forth, combined with secular businesses, not just religion, but secular businesses have come alongside us and said, what else can we do to try to get kids off the streets? We make sure that they have
no.
Go, and we teach.
Are you having an hour lecture? Are you having an hour lecture, and then are you having an hour lecture during a session, patting them on the back, and then letting them go out in the world? This is more than a fucking hour's worth of training.
No, we do. We do actually give those kids awards. Some of them can do ride-alongs with the actual police so that they, if they want to do that, they can do that. And so those are good, real life skills. They can ask the police questions. A lot of times we bring the police in there.
That's not what I'm talking about. That is not going to move the needle. Yeah. When you ride along with the cop, you're not forcing yourself to understand how to interact with the cop. Right, we have a crazy cop. That's a different situation.
Next speaker.
Black lawyers.
That's a different situation.
We do teach them how to interact with the cop.
Speaker? Do you hear me talking?
I'm sorry.
No worries. Your Honor, did you ever get a chance to get in? I don't know.
I'm gonna let it pass by me. Yes, okay. I'll just say very quickly, I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood, and they were teaching this in Little League, starting at about 7 years old, age appropriate, obviously, and then it would continue on from there, for what it's worth.
I just wanted to respond to DJ when he asked the question, in today's conversation, comply, I kind of sat and reflected on it, and I think the reason, me personally, it kind of triggers me is because a lot of times the people who justify police violence are the ones who say, well, just comply and you're going to be alive. And I think maybe subconsciously it kind of triggers, at least me, that like, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you're saying it triggers you, because you also mentioned that you don't have to deal with police officers doing no fuck shit to you. Right? So I'm glad that it triggers you. Perfect. But this conversation is triggering a lot of us that actually dealt with police officers, and you guys are saying that complying did not get us home safely. And that's why we're able to speak on the mic today.
Man.
So I think we're getting triggered too.
Yes.
And maybe not everybody has dealt with police. You see me, I don't drive. So I don't deal with police pulling me over. But I have dealt with police coming to my home. Okay? And I have dealt with police in that way, right? And I comply. Pregnant and all, I comply. Because I know, guess what? If he's telling me, bitch, get out, pack your shit up and get out, Mel's gonna pack her shit up and get out. Or my pregnant ass is gonna be on the fucking floor. Squashed and everything, on my belly. So, this conversation has went further than we ever thought it was gonna go.
Thank you, Mel.
And I think Lisa fell asleep on the top left. That's how long it went. But I don't understand. It's like, do what you guys want with your kids. Tell your kids whatever brings them home. Whatever makes you feel better. This is ridiculous. This really is. You guys can take the mic.
I mean, to be fair.
Well put, Mel. I don't even need to say shit.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Lisa. You alive up there? I just wanted to check your pulse.
I'm watching my hair grow and listening to y'all. I'm putting it down.
Mic is low.
My mic must not work. What do you mean?
No, I hear the dog. I hear you. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, sis.
You just talking over me like I don't got.
They do it to me all the time, Brooklyn. Go ahead, sis. You got it.
But I'm just that boy went home. So even though he wasn't as complicit as he needed to be, he ain't fight police. He ain't reach for nothing crazy. He
held his hands up. He did all of the things. So, I mean, in that respect, he did a good enough job. I mean, I have been pulled over and arrested a few times. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm the best person that being complicit because I'm fucking human. Like, I just did say something. I tend to give people the same energy that they give me. I don't really give a fuck who that person is, but that's me. I'm not telling anybody to be like me. But I do have enough wherewithal about my rights to know what and what not to do. I treat a police officer like I treat any other human being. I'm not going to put my hands on a normal human being. I'm not going to do that to a police officer. But if the police curse me, I'm going to curse his ass back. I'm just going to do that. If I get arrested for it, then fuck it. I'll work that shit out. But I'm not going to do anything that's going to get myself killed, per se. But at the same time, with the way that things are going in society and the way that police officers are human too, and the fact that they might be having a bad day and they might just feel like you are their target and you might be the target. I mean, there's certain things that you just can't, you might not be able to talk your way out of or comply your way out of. We all know that. So in that case, then laws should be changed, definitely. Laws definitely need to be changed. There should be some advocacy for the citizens, not just for the police. Because it seems like they have all of the rights to do whatever it is that they want to do. And the citizens, the normal, everyday citizens who pay their taxes and pay for these police officers to work these jobs, they don't have any rights. I think that's where a lot of people are, like, on the other side, the ones that saying, comply is not all you need to do. The people, I think that's where they're coming from. But in that case, then, we're going to have to do some more thinking and some more reaching out. And I think that, what's his name? Damn. His idea started off like a good idea, but it went places that I wasn't sure about. However, I do think that there's some room for, high school kids, junior high school kids to learn everyday laws and because that is the problem with everyday citizens. Everyday citizens don't really know the law. Like, we know what's bad and what's good for the most part, but like the law to the extent where I don't know, like, you might be driving in the rain and you don't have your headlights on. I didn't know that it was illegal to do that. I see cars do it all the time. Their headlights don't be on. Now I know. But if it's something like that we could probably teach people to do, then I think that, we might be in a better position. I don't know. I just don't want to argue with you.
I agree with teaching. Hey, I
agree.
Yep. I'm with you. For the guy who essentially was saying, and asking me, do we do this and do that? Yeah, we try and definitely do. We certainly do teach kids and others, especially adults, to the law, that kind of stuff. Because we really want people to understand, along with not just the police, but there are lawyers that we work with, so that those who are coming out of prison and those folks who want their records expunged, we help those folks understand those laws. So we do try to break things down from traffic tickets all the way up to people who've been in prison. So we do the best that we can to provide all the resources to those who can use them and those kinds of things. So and it's free. We don't charge people, none of that kind of stuff. And so we just believe in justice nights, and we believe in providing people justice under the law and using all of that and all of those tools to be able to help our citizens and people know that if they're pulled over by the police, we have a paper that also says you have the right to remain silent If you like, really, honestly, truly, you can. So we try to make sure to have an encompassing effort to teach people. So I hope that helps as well. We'll continue to do that. We've been doing that for over 41 years, and we'll continue to do it.
Let me tell you something. When I was 11,
the urgency.
When I was 11, let me tell y'all, when I was 11, I turned 13 immediately because fuck 12, right? So I agree with what's her name, Ashton, when she said, "Don't say nothing at all. Be silent." Silence is golden. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like I done been arrested in the fucking police station, and when they was asking me questions, I had nothing to say. I'm muted in the person without a tongue. I don't have shit to talk about to you because at this point I feel like I'm violated. So if you feel violated, do a woosah, take some breathing exercises, and don't say shit and wait for your lawyer. All you need to say is lawyer, and that's the fucking, even in the car, just say lawyer, and that's it.
So Brooklyn, he could have stayed quiet and not asked for nobody to come to the vehicle and all that beautiful stuff, right? And guess what? The cops would have still broke the window, still pull him out, and decide to smack him, hit him, whatever they decided to do. He could have stood quiet like a little church mouse, and it would have still happened.
This is what I'm saying. These people are strategic as hell in how they talk to you, how they're trying to escalate you. They have tactics and strategies, and they know enough of the law to be dangerous. We know enough of the law to get our asses in trouble. We need to know more than that so we can be more strategic, so that when they try to toss something our way, we can recognize it and we know how to stir it. Not to be like, I'm going to give you this quick fix and just be quiet. They got answers for that. They are constantly training each other how to circumvent shit. What are we doing to figure out how do we move in that space? And Ashton, I want to be very, very clear with you. I appreciate what you're doing. The criticism that I have, because I've seen some of these workshops before, is a lot of the times what they're trying to do is to get you comfortable around police officers. They're not trying to tell you when shit goes crazy, how do you know how to take control of the situation and steer it in a direction where you can make it, where you can come home. And I mean, you need to know the laws, and if they are just saying fuck you and fuck the laws, then you need to have a plan B to figure out, okay, I'm not working in law. How do I keep myself safe and still be compliant? So when I go to court, I can get what I'm deserved. I can get my justice. Right now, it's not about justice. It's about survival. And there's
we
I
teach you not
have a question. I have a question for the stage. I have a question for the stage. For all the people that have died in the hands of police officers, what percentage would you say complied out of all the videos we have seen?
That's what I'm saying. We need to go beyond complying.
I mean, way too many.
No. I'm responding because Katrina in the chat. My point was that even when people comply 100%, they still get killed or beaten. So my question is, out of all the videos we have seen, what is the percentage of people complying and them being killed or beaten? That is the question. So when I say complying, when somebody tells you to get out the vehicle, you get the fuck out the vehicle. When somebody tells you to shut the fucking car off, you shut the fucking car off. When somebody tells you, hand me your fucking wallet, where's your registration, where's your fucking license, you hand it. Don't move. Put your hands up. This is all shit of complying. How many people have died when they gave them all the... I'm asking, because clearly you guys know more about complying than we do. So I'm asking the question to everybody that's fighting back, compliant.
Well, I remember the one guy that was in the car with his girlfriend, his daughter, and he was complicit. And you know, when he told the police officer that he had a gun, and he told him,
Antoine.
Yeah. That he told him that he was getting his registration or whatever out the glove compartment, and he was following all of the rules, and he still shot him. So, yeah. So I mean,
This is a slippery slope, y'all.
Brooke, this is what I'm talking about.
Hold on, Dan.
He should have got out of the car. He should have asked him, "Can I get out the car?" And then let him take the gun from him. That's what he should have did.
So that was the option. It's hard to use those type of situations because it's almost equivalent to like being in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? It's almost like equivalent to being at a place where there's going to be a mass shooting, right? If you get in a situation,
ain't nothing you can do about it.
Right? It's like nothing you can do about it. So it's
practice and rehearse and be calm.
You can't teach non-compliance because, like I said, those are rarity situations that you can't teach that. It would be just unfortunate. It's unfortunate if you end up in that type of situation. But I mean, you can't. There's no way you can teach your kids how to deal with something like that. That's like trying to teach. I hate to use kids in this, but like if you're at a movie theater and someone comes in and starts shooting, the only thing you could do is run, hide. I mean, that's why the lesson I think many people trying to say here is comply. And I got the whole things of what Dan's trying to say with teaching your rights and all that. But at the end of the day, you can know all your rights. You still don't have to comply at the end of the day. I mean, if they're violating your rights physically, I mean, what the hell is going on?
Gemini, I muted you out because of the noise.
You gotta do mock scenarios, and you gotta escalate it. You gotta do mock scenarios. You gotta escalate it to the highest you possibly can, and they have to be trained.
Notice nobody answered my question, right?
Strategic.
Well, they could. 90% of the videos that I have seen and the incidents that I have seen, people actually comply.
90% of the videos you
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
I'm about to say
that's not true.
90? Come on.
Yeah, you guys are wilding, right?
Unfortunately, most of the time, there's very minor non-compliance. It's very minor non-compliance.
You guys been arguing about complying for how long already?
I've never said that. I said you can comply and still express to tell me the reason why you arrested me and requested a supervisor as you're compliant. That's my stance. You don't magically lose your
And guess what? They can tell you the supervisor's at another stop. The supervisor's busy. So what you gonna do then?
But I did, so you're not listening. I said still comply, but that doesn't preclude you from asking for
okay, love. And what if at that point I tell you the supervisor is at another location?
But I said 3 times now, still comply. Did I not?
That's not what I've been hearing from you, Katrina and Rez. You guys did.
I have been very clear. I said, it's all in the chat. I said, you can comply, but that doesn't mean you cannot ask for a supervisor as you comply. Go look in the chat. I've been saying that from day one.
You should have let that fly, LeVon, because she didn't mention your name. You should have just let that fly.
I think that's also what Katrina and Rez was saying,
because
too.
I just want to
I wasn't saying not to comply at all. I was actually saying, yes, you survive in the moment, but as we were talking, what can you do about it because your rights were violated? Then it's like, oh, well, you can sue them. Well, and my argument was, well, right now the laws that we have qualified immunity. A lot of these cops don't get the justice that they deserve.
I think none of them
have a victim mentality. We're in power.
You guys, I know I'm not hearing things. These women have been arguing all this time.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about? The police officer was speaking. They were speaking over the police officer. They were interrupting the police officer. Few people cursed. Like, what are we talking about right now? I was mic'd down all this time. And that's why I don't like to. I'm the type of person, I'm like a fucking bomb. I hold, and I fucking explode. Because this is the shit I've been hearing all this time. And now the fucking bomb just exploded.
I never disrespected. Put a name at it. I never disrespected that.
I didn't. What I said. You 3 women have pushed once again. You 3 women, Katrina, Rez, and LeVon, been pushing back this whole conversation for 3 fucking hours. That's what I said.
The police officer.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Are you going to listen to me?
I'm standing on business.
Are you going to listen? Okay, so you're not going to listen. Is that what you're saying? You're not going to listen. What I said is that you guys
reason. For one fucking reason.
I don't think this conversation should have lasted this long.
This is crazy.
I also don't think that they were saying not to comply. I think this is what I interpreted from their.
I never said you curse, so why are you putting that in the chat? Or are you listening with your RN ears? Open your motherfucking ears. Open your fucking ears. I didn't say you fucking cursed. I said Rez and fucking Katrina. Did you hear me now? What the fuck?
Gee, crashing out for no reason.
Nah, bro, because we tired of fucking hearing them three. Why do you think we crashing out? We fucking tired. Everybody's tired of hearing them.
I get it, right?
Shit.
And I see where you're coming from, because they did overtake the conversation.
And that's why I told people to do whatever the fuck they want with their kids.
It's crazy when I'm the same one in the conversation. This is really, really crazy how I'm the same one.
All right, no.
I do want to say this, right? I noticed the people that...
Levon, you was pushing back on... Do I gotta speak to you in your fucking language? Do I gotta speak to you in your fucking language? You don't understand what I'm saying?
No.
You've been pushing back all this time with all that fucking noise in your background. You was pushing back.
Oof.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Oof. All right, Gemini, what was you saying, Gemini?
I was just going to say, I noticed the people that are pushing back against the comply are mostly women. Like, most of the men...
Don't feel bad for my husband. My husband's doing good. He got a good-ass wife. Okay? Do me a favor. I don't know who the fuck you are. Don't speak on my husband. Respect.
Let's put him out.
Okay?
Let's just
fall the fuck back.
I'll remove him. But where is it?
Fuck out of here. I don't know who the fuck that is.
You sound crazy, though. Calm down.
Levon, go suck some dick. That's what you need to go do.
Yeah.
That's what you need to go do. That's what you need to go do.
You feel better?
That's what you need to go do. You know what the fuck you was doing all this time. You want to do the replays?
No.
We could do the replays. We could close this room right now and we could do the replays. We could shut this down right.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do. We could
do the replays.
Levon,
don't play with me. Cause everybody fucking said you've been talking all this time. Get the fuck up out of here.
I placed you in the goo, Levon, personally, because when Mel was talking, you said put a name on it.
Like I didn't say all three of their fucking names. Are you dumb?
And then it escalated to you asking questions about I never cursed and so on or whatever. So that's the reason why when we having conversations,
I don't know why y'all women be playing with me. I don't know why y'all be playing with me.
It just escalates the situation. I'm trying to diffuse the situation, okay? So in the midst of diffusing, Gemini, what were you saying?
I want to say something too.
I'll wait for Brooklyn. Go ahead, Brooklyn.
Go ahead, Brooke.
I just want to show you how easy it is for people to just blow up because it's the simplest shit. Y'all ain't even have to argue about this. All you have to do is tell them to just be quiet. We get it. We heard this. You comply in your situation and it didn't work for you and here you are even though you're still alive. We got it. I didn't get from them that they were telling you not to comply with this. What I heard from them was that even when you do comply, I think bad things still happen, and it does. I don't think we should argue about it. And it's crazy that I'm the fucking...
You know, Mel always gotta say what everybody's thinking behind their mic. And that's the difference between me and other people. I'm gonna say what everybody's fucking thinking. Shut the fuck up already.
Yeah, I say that too. I just stop them. I don't even let them continue. I just stop them right there.
Brooklyn, you're not helping
could you
this
please be
situation
quiet?
right now. Brooklyn, you're not helping. All right, what's going on?
I'll go ahead.
All right. Okay.
What I was going to say is most of the pushback on comply came from women, and I think there's a reason for that. Because as men, we're faced with those situations. It's our reality, right? We don't have white woman privilege.
Levon, keep on. Your ass will never enter this room again. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, Levon, because you'll never come into the room again. You're going to have to go look for 2 other houses to hang out in. Don't play with me.
Patty says we need to change the subject.
Because she want to be in the chat. Her old ass want to be in the chat. Get the fuck out of here.
let's
in the chat.
5 minute silence.
Don't play with me.
5 minute silence. Let's move on.
Because this is getting ridiculous.
I'm ghetto and I'm hood. I'm not unhinged. Oh, she's unhinged. No, I'm fucking hood and I'm fucking ghetto and I'll drag your ass if need to be. Okay? Thank you. Stop playing with me.
No,
Stop playing with me. Stop fucking playing with me.
Chill. Like, just relax.
I hate that's corny.
It's okay.
If you ain't gonna talk on the stage, don't be in the chat. Go work. Go work. Go take care of your patients.
All right, so nobody say nothing else about the situation. Let's keep it moving. What's going on? So what about the MLK files? Did y'all read that? Are we moving to the next subject? We staying there. Gemini, you saying something?
I was going to finish what I was saying, if it's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I think we should go to a different subject.
Damn, I think you should shut up.
Hey, let the moderators moderate.
What you say, Patty?
Compliance, though. Please don't do compliance.
Just a suggestion.
No, you fuck the patients. You don't have patients.
And you know somebody's gonna respond to
Can I turn it like a few degrees? I do want to say one thing.
No, everybody keep talking over Gemini. Gemini is about the fucking talk, and that's what the fuck is about the fucking
Period. Gemini, light this stage up. You tired of these motherfuckers. Period.
Man, y'all making me want to light this stage up. I'm gonna yield. I'm gonna try to bring confidence because y'all got it already. Y'all said everything that needed to be said. And First Lady and Mel already said everything that needed to be said. So I'm gonna yield.
I came out.
Thank you, Gemini. Thank you.
I came out of work. I'm at work, so I came out of where I am to speak. So, you know, when I be crashing out, people be trying to kick me out of the room that I've been in.
Oh, Lord, now.
Oh, Lord. Lord, listen.
Okay,
Okay, so, hey,
I'm going somewhere.
this out.
There's nothing wrong with everybody crashing out. So since
there's updates from the judge.
Since Mel, don't do that. Don't be rude. Since Mel crashed out too, we all deserve a crash out up in here one or two times. All right. So what we're not gonna do to him here after, if another mod crash out, we won't be kicking.
All right, Dab, crash out, baby. Crash out. You next. You next.
First Lady.
What the hell is he at? Y'all wildin'.
First Lady.
Don't call my name out.
This room was called No Seatbelts. Fuck it.
Wait, I want to say something to the First Lady. It's only your second day. Ciao.
Is it? Is it my second day?
Have we got to 24 hours yet? I don't know if I ever. You done it.
Yeah, it might not be a full 24. Like, that's okay.
Right. 24 hours. Look, you done.
I don't be playing with these young kids like that. Don't play with me like that. I'm older than them.
I don't know what's going on. Okay,
Y'all
so.
don't be disrespecting y'all like that. And y'all young kids. Hey, Gemini.
Y'all
all need to take
You know Harvard and everybody.
Brooklyn, pass me that blunt.
Patty speaking. This is her room. Speaking. Go.
This ain't my room.
Damn, shut That's top left, man. Top left is not even running her room. This shit is crazy.
This is
Lisa, you see what happens? You left us.
All right, Lisa, go.
Crash, Lisa, crash.
Go, Lisa, please.
Way too much, though.
Doing way too much.
Okay. Y'all cool?
Lisa.
I don't know. Yeah. So what else happened today besides that shit?
Okay, so you know Harvard went to court about the funding that was being pulled back, and I do have a
Don't say Harvard unless you respond to the shit I sent you.
Mom, check it back, Jones.
You thought I forgot COB? We're past COB.
I'm gonna play this clip real quick so we can get it somewhere.
Oh, we got a clip. Good.
Yeah. Let me go in the music mode. I don't even know. I just pulled something quick because y'all.
She grabbed something random, like talk about this.
Right.
Exactly.
Is not dissipating drama around the DOJ files of the notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, including top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries.
What are they hiding from the American people?
testimony about Epstein released following pressure from his own MAGA base. Is the president satisfied that his own supporters are not heeding his call to let it go and to move on?
I know the president would reject that, Kelly. In fact, he cited over the weekend some polls showing that his approval rating with the Republican Party is actually at an all-time high.
Will he call on Kash Patel to do more?
Ooh, sorry, y'all. That was God.
Vaughn is not dissipating drama around the DOJ files of the notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, including top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries.
What are they hiding from the American people?
I'm trying to read
Release the files.
While House Speaker Mike Johnson today stressed Republican unity.
There is no daylight between the House, Republicans, the House, and the President on maximum transparency.
But more questions on the White House driveway about whether the FBI will open its files after the president said he wants grand jury testimony about Epstein released following pressure from his own MAGA base. Is the president satisfied that his own supporters are not heeding his call to let it go and to move on?
I know the president would reject that, Kelly. In fact, he cited over the weekend some polls showing that his approval rating with the Republican Party is actually at an all-time high.
Will he call on Kash Patel to do more?
The president has told the Attorney General and the FBI Director to release any credible evidence that they find.
Well, exactly 1 year after Joe Biden dropped out of the 2024 race, his son Hunter offered a new theory about Mr. Biden's struggle at that fateful debate.
We finally beat Medicare. Thank you, President Biden.
Blaming sleep aid Ambien taken around his foreign travel for his performance.
He's 81 years old. He's tired as give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights.
Hunter Biden also lashed out at actor and Democratic supporter George Clooney for calling on his father to drop out of the race. Asked about that Ambien assertion, the former president's office declined to comment. Tom?
Kelly O'Donnell, our thanks to you.
So there was an interview with his son, I think it was yesterday, and it was a pretty good interview. Maybe Lisa will play it later on. But yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I think Lisa's out of water. Lisa, you there?
I know I'm really not. I can't do this tonight though, really, because are we gonna talk? Where are we going with this? I don't know, Lisa. Did you hear about they released the MLK files? I said the Epstein files. Yes, ma'am. I did hear that they released, and we talked about it. There are 232,000 pages of this. Of the MLK, so I'm not really 200 and what? 230,000 pages of the MLK file. So I don't know who's gonna take the time to read that, but it ain't gonna be me. I don't think it's what's the point? I don't know where we're trying to go with it, if we're trying to embarrass him or what, but it's not really to solve anything, and nothing's gonna I don't see any benefit to it at all. The disperses, but that's what he's on right now. He's going to be on Obama, and he's going to be on anybody else that he can find to divert attention from himself. And so it's this opportunity to take down two black men at one time. Exactly. And ignore his bullshit.
The family didn't even want those released.
I thought they were going to release it to say something about possibly other people being involved in his actual assassination. But if
90% of that stuff is already to there are certain things that
they released it so that we could have the audio files. That's all they're doing. Like the 230,000 pages and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that there's nothing worth value in there, but it is definitely to embarrass King and to basically tell everybody, you know, we don't need to have a King holiday because King was a terrible person, blah, 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 blah. King, the family knew King was having orgies, so that's really what was released.
What? Plus, the family didn't get listed on.
I don't know if that's true.
Because I think when they originally was going to release it, there was a statement that they wanted to listen to the tapes first before they were released. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. If the family said they don't want to release, I'm not really into trying to read all. Right. Hey, Andre. Good to see you, brother. That's crazy.
I'm really curious to see what the CIA has probably wrote about him. And the reason why I said the CIA, I know FBI focuses on national stuff, but when Martin Luther King traveled overseas, mainly when he went to India to try to talk to Gandhi and all that other stuff, the CIA had to be engaged. So I'm curious to know what they were doing, trailing and tracking him, because they had to be, and how that went into the larger collection of files about Martin Luther King. Because again, he was not just local, he was also international, and that means CIA.
But why would they have orgies in the files? Like, what is that about?
All that is to just tear down King's legacy, because at the end of the day, like my man said, CIA, FBI, first and foremost, and lastly, at the same time, if that makes any sense. King was starting to become almost the united front with Malcolm X. You got two entities from different spectrums of theology trying to find a commonality, and America didn't want it. So they killed them both. They just used people like us that look like us to infiltrate those organizations, and now Trump and whoever wants to denounce his legacy and say he was this and say he was that. It's all bullshit. It's just dumbass bullshit.
Well, remember, he also was involved. He was being more critical and critiquing the policies of Vietnam, and people say that was also a trigger point too. So I'm curious to know what they're saying about that, because you start dabbling in Vietnam, that really unseats people.
Yeah, so
was nothing but a drug experiment that went right. That's why they came back with all the heroin.
What?
I'm sorry, what? What?
I don't understand what you just said.
Didn't the cases of heroin, however you want to pronounce it, wherever you're from, those cases went up. Heroin became a big thing in America. That's what that was.
How's that attached to King, though?
So, yeah.
How's that attached to King?
We thought a war to have heroin.
I misunderstood what you said, really. I was just saying this. When you said anything dealing with Vietnam, America, the whole thing was drugs. It's always was drugs. And I'm proud to be an American. I love it here. Let's just call a spade a spade.
So a lot of people don't know that the FBI, they were harassing King. And I said this maybe the other day, but they sent his wife pictures, of his philandering, because he was a philanderer, and then they also sent pictures to King, and they wrote him a letter and said, you should kill yourself, because they were threatening to blackmail him. And, they knew that, King's image was definitely, a religious leader, somebody upstanding, quality marriage and children, and things like that. And they basically were telling him, well, they didn't basically, they literally put in the letter, kill yourself. Because, they knew that he had this image to uphold, and they wanted to demolish his image. And so sending him that was a way of blackmail. Yeah, this is definitely red meat for MAGA, because they can't stand King. I got a holiday. Now, if all the information about his orgies, his affairs, whatever, you just wait. This is a ticking time bomb. taking time bomb. They're gonna come back with all this bullshit. I think there are already documentaries out there about this part of his life. So as I said, Donald Trump is using this, anything he can at this point in time to discredit the black man that we hold up to esteem, that we damn near worship, and they're gonna tear him down. That's what I see in the future, and just wait, because they released him, I think, yesterday? So,
Oh, it was released yesterday? It wasn't a child. I thought it was today.
it could have been today. I'm just overwhelmed. We got so much stuff we've been talking about, and you know what it is? I'm up till 4 o'clock in the morning, so it could be yesterday to today.
My brain. My thing is, that's not the first time that I've heard about his activities. Because if I'm not mistaken, Henry Ford had if it's Henry Ford, don't quote me on that, has exposed certain things about King anyway. So for me, that's not the first time that I've heard what you guys just spoke about.
Who is Henry Ford?
Henry Ford was one of the
That's the president.
Not Ford. What was the guy? What was the guy's name? Thank you. He used to be the oh God. Name the place that this isn't the CIA.
Do you mean Hoover?
J. Edgar Hoover. Thank you. J. Edgar Hoover. Thank you. Yeah, so he had done a lot of investigation and he had a lot of shit on him. So this is not the first time that I've heard that.
Are we talking about the same person who was dressing up in women's clothes?
Uh-huh.
That is correct. That is correct.
Here's what I'm telling you. These hypocrites are just unbelievable. It's cool you want to do that. It's cool, whatever. But how are you just going to justify going after somebody and taking
We know right
them?
now that black men don't cheat, so that was a goddamn.
Well, I'm not saying it was a lie because somebody on the stage just said.
I'm saying it is. I don't believe it for a second. I do not believe anything they say about that man. Not the CIA. Nope.
Well, they're trying to recreate history. They're trying to make a darker noir MLK story. And what better to attack somebody who doesn't have the ability to fight back? That is really what this is about. We're attacking a man who cannot fight back, and they have documents that they could have fabricated, whatever, and now they're going to use that against him to tarnish his name. So it's despicable.
So how do you guys feel about that? Because I think the family is going to spend a lot of their time, if they choose to, or they're going to just let it go down the way it is, just stay on mute and be cute, or they don't have to defend, because they knew about it before these were even released. They knew what was in those. What could have been in those.
The foundation is at risk. The MLK Foundation is at risk right now. So they're going to try to take that down. If they can take down the foundation, then they can take down his legacy.
They're trying to take down shoes. Ain't that about a bitch?
Well, that's another reason why.
Here's what I think. The people gonna have to stand up to all of the stuff that they're doing. I mean, we know what they're doing. We can't stop them from what they're doing. But we do have we can react by not reacting and letting them win. And not letting it, why does it have to damage, whatever you said, the foundations, or take down his foundation? It doesn't have to. It's an administration. It's not America. And I know that's easier said than done, but we gotta get
Why does it have to take it down? I mean, we literally watched this man be lifted back up like, he has 9 damn lives. I mean, Teflon Don doesn't even begin, but it's because they lift him back up. So why aren't we gonna do the same thing? That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna be revenge. It's gonna be revenge. We tore down Confederate statues. Now they want to take down his statue.
Where did
Trump is petty to the end.
Where did you guys see that he was sitting there
Just saying.
trying to take? No, I'm asking.
I think there's gonna be a connection. Give it 6 months. Watch. Give it 6 months. If they can tear down his image, then they're gonna be like, well, why do we need to erect him up on this such and such?
So are you admitting that you're making this up and you have not read this or heard this? This is something that you are feeling?
I am feeling, based on the despicableness of this man, I think that because he's already trying to dance around renaming military bases after Confederate people, he's trying to appease. He's dancing. He's dancing, and you can tell. He's already sent out a video arresting Obama. What makes you think that probably has not crossed his mind?
Well, he did. So Trump did. I saw a headline either yesterday or the day before. He did remove something Martin Luther King Jr. from the White House. I don't know if it was his bust or something like that. Do y'all remember seeing that?
Yeah.
From the Oval Office, downstairs or something.
He's so petty.
He's saying
petty.
You gotta be careful going after all these goes. They're not. I mean, I honestly think that, if I was like the PR person or something advising the King family, I'd rather say nothing. If that's what you want to do. There's no reason to call attention to it. Or attack Trump back. Like, Martin Luther King is beloved. You really think Donald Trump is going to want to fight with Martin Luther King? Like, I just don't see that happening. So they came back at him with something like, it's just another example of a small man trying to tear down a great man. Like, what is Trump going to say back to that? He's going to do a social post on Truth Social? Like, what are we going to do?
Right, that's all.
Like, I don't think you can keep up with King. Like, you're Donald Trump. He's Martin Luther King. Like, this isn't a competition.
But he
won a Nobel Peace Prize, and Don didn't.
He wants to tear down Barack Obama. I don't think there's no black man in his hairs, in his sights, that he's not going to at least try. It might not even be him. He might just dole out to somebody else and keep this drumbeat going because
this could all.
I just want to know how we're going to respond as a community. There, once again, because we're the ones who are endowed with protecting his legacy. I don't know how this is going to happen, but they released them. People reading them as we speak. We're not reading them. I don't even know where the hell they are. And 230 pages. How they gonna get through it? If there is audio out there, that's being listened to. And I don't know why everybody always thinks that this stuff is just gonna go away. No, it's not gonna go away. The thing with Obama, they're gonna juice that. They're going to keep on juicing it until they get as much as they... Pam Bondi then put her shit out, herself on the line right there, too. So, just to say they brought it up today and it's going to be gone tomorrow, even with the Obama stuff, she just stepped out on a fucking cliff. She got to do something. She's going to try to juice it as much as she possibly can, and don't matter who, how, what, it hurts. For both of them.
Facts.
Well, why is it so easy to release the MLK files? Why is it so easy to release his files and not the Epstein? What's the problem?
So when Coretta Scott went to court years ago, they said that the release date would be 50 years from then, and that was the agreement. So with the last piece of files, which would have been the audios, those were supposed to release. Either way, they were going to be released in 2027.
True, I remember.
Right. So the family's been trying to fight it, but you can't fight it because that was the agreement made in court. So, regardless of the fact they were going to come out, and then you guys got to remember, there's this guy named David Girls who wrote this book. It's like, there was other stuff that's been released, so all you had to do is put 2 and 2 together. So, like, when they released, it was a bunch of transcripts and some other shit that is based off of these audio files, some of the stuff that was freaking being followed. So if people did not fucking read and understand that shit and he wrote a book, then trust and believe a lot of people is not going to sit around and read these audios because they would have already known a lot of this shit already.
If I can jump into this also, I was just gonna say that with this whole situation, we all know what it is, but essentially Trump can't run from the Epstein files. I keep saying that, so this is a diversionary tactic. He has something he put in the playing field that has to be dealt with, but it really is just he can't get away from these files. And this whole thing, this battle against him and Rupert Murdoch, I was either watching Media's Touch or like Lawrence O'Donnell. They're doing some good work on this, but they're talking about going up against Rupert Murdoch and his attorneys and the way they vet things before they put it out there. So if Trump wants to do it, he's going to have to do a deposition where he's going to have to explain how he knows like these things about Jeffrey Epstein and about how like the parties and all this stuff that Trump will have to actually have like a video deposition going back and forth. He can't do all this stuff. But I'm saying it to say that this MLK stuff, it's a diversionary tactic as the Obama stuff is. And I would hope, because y'all talking about like how we're going to react to this community, we are in the time of Diddy now. We're in the time of Shannon Sharp. We're in the time of scandals where all this stuff are like our people. I don't know that, and it's just that I'm just talking, but I don't know when Dr. King was doing his thing back in the 60s and the 50s, the way I feel like we looked at people, we looked at them more deities. It's like we didn't have like the internet, we didn't have like all this information. We know that our heroes or people are flawed now. Look at how people were supporting Tyler Perry with the stuff that's going on with him. You still got people supporting Diddy. I don't know. It's a hit to his legacy, but all the good that he did, the Voting Rights Act, all the things like with the boycotts, everything he did, like Bloody Sunday getting up on a brick. He's done a lot for the people, and I would think that people will look past this because a lot of people that are older that like are in that generation that were around the 60s. I don't know that they're moving away from Martin Luther King. I just think that this is not as a nothing burger, but it shows how desperate Trump is, and he can't get away from the Epstein files. And I land because I'm kind of rambling.
What's negative in Martin Luther? What's negative in the papers? Can somebody kind of bring me up to speed, please?
Yeah, let me tell you. So for years, well, this is just something too. I just want to say real quick to Gemini. For years, there's been this thing because this word has been out about him having orgies. And there's something about where somebody would beat a woman and he witnessed it. There's been like speculation in the background for years now. This is not new information. So, but
you talking about all the white women accusations and all that stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, let me land and let them talk about what they got. But I'm saying this.
Yeah, Michael's right. So that David Girls guy actually put together the timelines when the FBI released the bit that they could release, right? So say, for example, when that woman got beat, he was being followed, and they had the dates and everything in a time log. So, like, he put the stuff together, and he freaking wrote a book. I'd have to Google the book real quick, but there's a book already out there. He's read some of the transcripts. He's probably the only person that actually really did in-depth research on all of it. So, yeah. But Michael's right. It was abuse. It was extramarital affairs. It was sex orgies, sex parties.
Do you think that's why Trump moved the statue from the Oval Office to the dining room?
No, that's Trump being racist and trying to eradicate Black history. Trump, there was a picture of Martin Luther King.
Dining room.
That's where it was.
Belong in the kitchen.
Yeah. I can't. If the National Archives, there's a picture of Martin Luther King, and he moved it, and I think put a picture picture of Richard Nixon and Elvis up in place of it. It's what they're doing with trying to take stuff out of the African American History Museum that he deems offensive. This is before we got to the point to where he can't run from this Epstein file thing, and he's like being desperate. He was already moving to eradicate like Black history and things that were a source of pride. Juneteenth has nothing to do with Martin Luther King, and he's like talking about why we got an extra day off, in June. So he's already been moving in that direction. This is literally just the man is flailing. Like I mentioned last night, it's like somebody in a fight, they can't fight with their eyes closed and they're just swinging their arms, hoping to hit something. Or somebody drowned that don't know how to swim, and it's like it's trying to like tread water, and it's like slowly drown. This mofo is done, this Epstein shit, so it's like whatever he does, he's going, he's going to try to do whatever he can. He's desperate as fuck, and so he's going to throw out anything he can. And it's just another thing, like I say, we got to deal with it now. But the family already knows, and a lot of us in the community already knew. This is not new information to a lot of people.
Well, Michael, he's also going after, he's doing all kinds of stuff, but here across the news, he wants the Commanders to change their names, the Cleveland Indians and what have you, instead of them being called the Guardians and all this other kind of stuff. So it's like everything that's being thrown out is a distraction. Why is it that you're doing this? And those kinds of things, saying that you're going to now hold up people's funding for stadiums and whatever else. And it's like, what in the hell? Are we in a dictatorship? Or, you know what I mean? You're now trying to go after, these are billionaires. Like, pump the brakes, right? So it's concerning.
Ashton, no, I was just going to say, so in my opinion, what's going on is this is a man that's been able to get away from everything his whole life. I don't know young Donald Trump stories like we know about young Dr. King stories or whatever when he was a kid and things he might have done. But I know that he had bone spurs, air quotes, and he avoided going to a fight in the Vietnam conflict where a lot of people that didn't have the ability to have bone spurs went and lost their lives. So he was able to avoid that. He's been able to skirt past stuff. He's bankrupted all these businesses and still been able to come up on top. He's apparently, if you read the filings, he's apparently raped young girls, underage women, and he's still been able to get past that. They had a January 6th riot. He's able to get past that. He has been able to skirt all of this stuff, and even the 34 felonies, and the man is president. Jeffrey Epstein, he can't run from it. Jeffrey Epstein, by his own admission, said that Donald Trump was his best friend. They were besties for 10 years. There's so much footage of him, and we know Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted, I believe the man was convicted, but he is a known child rapist. So I think the Florida case, he was literally convicted. So that was his best friend. And then by Trump's own mouth, he's so stupid in the way he runs his mouth. So go to the Howard Stern interviews. We have so much stuff of him talking about his affinity for underage women, including his daughters. So there's nothing that he's done. Martin Luther King has, for all intents and purposes, been a deity in his public persona.
What is he
The
trying
stuff
to
you
say
go back
about
and listen
Martin
to
Luther
his
King? Work with me.
Just let me land. So I was gonna say that in comparison, Martin Luther King has been a deity. So all the things that he did, like the fact that we can vote now, like the fact that we have a Civil Rights Act, the time that he came up and what they endured, the sit-ins, a lot of stuff I don't agree with the way they let themselves get beat down, but a lot of that beating, it created public sentiment and allowed for a lot of things to happen. I'm just saying that Trump is morally bankrupt, and all the stuff that he has done, this is something that he just can't run from this. So all I'm saying is that he is gonna, this is he's flailing. So I don't know, I crashed, but anyway, I hope that answered your question, Ashton.
It is about Epstein. It is about
Thank you,
Epstein.
Michael. I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you.
I'm gonna lock the stage up because I've been over TikTok because y'all done me fucking crazy. Come on, Ashley. Come on. Them soliloquies the last episode, I don't know what hour we was on. But, okay, so put this together, walk with me. J.D. Vance was meeting the Murdochs somewhere, wherever they ass is in the, hold on, let me go get off this. He was meeting them and hold on, I got it. Vice President J.D. Vance on Tuesday made a brief, not this Tuesday, made a brief trip to Montana, where he spoke to media mogul Rupert Murdoch, his son Lachlan Murdoch, the head of Fox News and News, and a group of other Fox News executives, according to people familiar with the trip. Vance met with the group at the Murdoch Family Ranch in southwest Montana near Dillon, according to the people, whoever's providing information. They confirmed the visit to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly about it. It's not clear why the Vice President spoke to the group or addressed them or what he spoke about. But this was shortly before the Wall Street Journal, you know, with the birthday letter that, you know, got Trump upset. And so there's something swirling there. Did J.D. Vance, is he helping try to bring Trump down or bring Trump low? And the new TikTok, Michael, is for you, conspiracy. The new TikTok conspiracy I just saw a little while ago is Trump doesn't want these out because not only is his name in it, but he and Jeffrey Epstein were lovers. My lover.
Oh, wow. Now they know they need to bring that out.
What, April? What? I'm just bringing the news of the people in the streets, okay?
It's funny, but you almost don't even need that. This child stuff is so damning. I mean, you know, not just like another shrimp on the barbie, another log on the fire, but it's like you don't even need that with all this.
All that talk in that letter, you know. And Lisa, when you brought out the meeting that was just him and Trump there in that place with all them girls, Jeffrey was the only, they could hell, who know what they've been doing. But I'm just putting that out. But the thing with J.D. Vance was true. That was not a conspiracy or, you know, somebody just speaking off the cuff. It was a visit that J.D. made to the Murdochs. And for what we don't know, but Murdoch does have the Wall Street Journal, where a few days later, the Epstein letter, birthday card, where the hell it was.
We can start to connect dots, though. I mean, clearly, and again, I said it last night, they, and I always do air quotes because whoever the fuck they are done with Trump, clearly. And J.D. Vance is the vice president, and that's all y'all talked about. He was such an odd selection because he wasn't even on Trump's radar. He was a never Trumper. So all y'all talk about, like the Peter Thiel connection, like the Curtis Yarvin, the Elon Musk, like all of that stuff. So yeah, it appears that like the Manchurian candidate, like somebody said the other night, like they're about to install him, is what it looks like.
And I have put my link in the chat for any Trumpers that come in here trying to play games. My link about J.D. Vance is in the chat, but the other stuff is, you know, me just putting some salacious shit out here.
I just wanted to say, well, thank you, April, but I'll just say real quick and go on mute. Michael, I think that you're giving that way too much weight, the pedophilia. I think they're going to get past that, too. And the reason I say that is that Charlie Kirk, you know, it was fuck Trump, we want the files. And now they're talking about Obama and possibly MLK. So I think they're going to move past the pedophilia.